This is Canarsie, Rockaway Parkway. The next stop on this Brooklyn-bound podcast is Last Stop on the L. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Welcome to Last Stop on the L. That was the musical stylings of the one and only Big Crit. Kings Remembered in Time. One of the dopest rappers alive.
Facts.
Better than all your favorites. Anywho.
Facts.
Better than your baby daddy. That was super shady. I didn't know that.
Did you say better than your baby daddy?
Yeah.
Damn.
She did that shit.
That was to somebody. I don't know who that was, but hold your chest, because that hurt. Pachoom, pachoom. Anywho. It's your boy, Danny Ocean, DANNYOCION. Back in the building. Another episode of Last Stop on the L. We got my co-host in the building today. Introduce yourselves.
Yo, what up, though? These ribs is mad good. Sangria's hitting. Starts your Thursday on a Sunday. Yeah, what up, Bonasage? I done ate. I'm not hangry no more. I done centered my chi. I'm ready to go. I'm ready. You guys ready? I'm ready.
It's your boy Chris from Highbridge. I caught all the flames before she actually ate.
No, you started the flames.
I moved y'all out the way, so everybody's good now. We all safe.
You started the shit.
Anyway, it's your boy Mayhem Mike. Just letting you know I survived Vanna's flames and hangriness.
Because he fed me.
She gave me vegetable rice. I'm not with the shits. Find me on YFR Mayhem. Don't forget to follow the page of Last Stop on the L. Facebook, Last Stop on the L. Twitter, as well as Instagram. And we got a special co-host as well. We got a guest. Introduce yourself, gangster.
What's up, y'all? It's Easy Smith. Hola.
Alright, so then let's get this started. Go ahead.
Let's jump into the topics today. Black Panther is doing extremely well. Shout out to that boy, Ryan Coogler. He has just crossed $1 billion in global box office. I'm going to repeat that again. $1 billion in global box office.
Plus, still counting. Right?
Yeah. If Black Panther keeps on track, it might end up being one of the top 5, I think, highest grossing movies of all time. Screw comic book movie. All time. If it keeps on this is how many weeks out are we from the premiere? Are we like, is this week 4 away from the premiere?
3. We're going into week 4 right now.
And it's still number 1 in the box office.
So what you talking about?
The Black Panther.
Our Black Panther challenge is really taking off.
Yo.
Today
Oh my
is
God.
not challenge day.
But I tell you what, if somebody comes out with that emoji, the animojis with the monkey as well as the cat, I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting it off there. I'm stopping it there. Because remember, Jabari tribes, the gorillas, and obviously the Panther tribe.
That's a fact.
All right.
Okay. All right. We're gonna do an early commercial break for our sponsors, but we'll be right back.
It's your boy Juice, a.k.a. The Juice is Loose. Studio 231 is located in the beautiful and trendy Lower East Side of Manhattan with studio rates and full studio setup. If you'd like to record with me at Studio 231, you can reach me at juice-cannon.com or Twitter at juicecannon.
Last Stop on the L is proudly sponsored by Dulce Amore Couture, premium couture accessory line, specializing in jewelry and watches featuring the handcrafted Amore collection. Based in New York City, but not limited to. You can meet Miss Yeezy Smith on Facebook / Dulce Amore Couture or Instagram Dulce Amore Couture, or visit the website dulceamorecouture.bigcartel.com.
And we back. You probably even know. I was about to say like you last time. You're not going to hear that shit. Anyway.
Editing is 4.
There was some ribs. There was some sauce. It was dripping. Shit happens. Anywho, as we were saying, Black Panther out here doing incredibly well. Also, Wrinkle in Time premiered this weekend. Shout out to Ava DuVernay. Unfortunately, it's getting some mixed reviews. The critics are not as behind it as they were Black Panther, and that's hurting box office. That's why it came in at number 2 with 10 million. Black Panther is still at number 1 with 33 million, but it's the first time in history that 2 black directors have had the number 1 and 2 spot in the box office. So fuck it, we out here.
Yes. I just want to say, if you go see that movie, be prepared. We'll talk about it another time. Be prepared.
We're going to talk about Wrinkle in Time, but since only Mike had seen it, we're gonna wait on that. Anybody have anything they want to say about Black Panther crossing $1 billion?
Yo, I'm just very excited. Like, as soon as it crossed $1 billion, everybody sent me a pic, called me. I've gotten notifications about it.
Like you was having a baby, like,
You know what I'm saying?
Like your kid just crossed the stage and shit.
The strength of the Black Panther.
That's my baby.
You know, but that was dope. And I was really happy. I'm really excited to see, like, when we get into this, I'm really excited to talk about, like, just off this alone, Marvel, Disney's going to have a great summer.
That's
Straight up. Straight up. Like, you just got that bomb-ass tax check.
Writing the sequel.
You know,
Right?
Oh yeah, the Black Panther
they already
sequel.
started?
They greenlit
I don't know
that in the
if they
first week.
started
Now
writing
it's
it.
definite.
It's been greenlit.
Okay. I
But there's no details beyond it's been greenlit.
Okay. Yeah, I remember it saying
They ain't
that.
got no director. They ain't got no script.
Right?
They just think this is happening. The money's been secured for part 2. That's what they're saying. Moving right along. Also, the Oscars were last weekend. Let's talk about that for a moment. I want a big shout out to the one and only Jordan Peele. He became the first, I think it was the first black man to win.
Best screenplay?
Yeah, best original screenplay. Which is crazy. It's 2018. Yeah. I keep saying that every time it happens. It's both like, oh, that's dope, and also that's sad. But Mary J. Blige was nominated for 2 awards for Best Original Song and Best Supporting Actress. By the way, that's the first time that's ever happened as well. Unfortunately, Aunt Mary did not go home with any awards. And I was right. She ain't make shit from Mudbound. I learned that this weekend because Kendu is suing her for additional alimony. And he was citing the success of Mudbound, and she was just like, "Nigga, I ain't make shit off of Mudbound." Right. And I was like, "I know you ain't make shit off of Mudbound." I'm like,
nah, I got a side note, motherfucker. I hope I'm speaking right to your bitch ass. Can't do motherfucking shit.
Where's the bomb? Where's the bomb?
Boom.
Like I cannot abide by bitch assness, and that nigga just lives all that bitch assness. He breathes and his breath says bitch when he like exhales. Like, I can't do it. I can't. He gets on my fucking nerves. And it's nothing. And it's like, it's not even just about what he did to Mary. It's like the way you did it. Like, that was unnecessary. I disagree. I don't like that nigga.
Vonna Sage out here coming for necks and the heads, then your heart.
does anybody have any disagreements with who won for what?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Shape of Water?
The fish movie.
Yo, everyone was clapping like, that shit just really fucking went. Like, there was lots of confused faces, but I feel like the Academy did that shit to be real safe. Because they fucking knew Moonlight won last year, and that threw everyone the fuck off. Like, they were like, La La Land, psych, Moonlight, haha, black people win, haha, bang, bang. So, so I think they did this, like, you know what, we got the niggas good at this year. Let's bring it back to some real weird, you mean fetish shit.
So PETA won this time? I don't get it. Like,
it's not PETA.
Hold on.
This nigga's not even a real fish. He's a fucking...
Hold on. I have to give an uncomfortable shout out to Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Oh, word. That was some shady
because
shit, too.
He did win Oscar for Best Animated Short based on a poem he wrote. And everyone reminded the world that that wasn't the 90s. That was the 2000s.
Well, shit, I was young as
Listen,
fuck.
as a basketball fan, I remember when...
was. What the fuck?
Listen, as a basketball fan, I remember when Kobe caught that...
That kid.
Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. Okay, ignore me. I'm sorry. Y'all hearing the Oscars in the background? That was me. I apologize. Cause like, what the hell is going on? Just
audio engineer.
We still experimenting. We're trying out some new stuff. Trying to insert some audio, but it ain't working out just now. Anyway,
too much.
So Kobe won Best Animated Short, and people were reminding everyone that Kobe a few years ago also caught charges for an alleged rape.
Over a decade ago.
Listen,
I
mean, all I was reminded.
So was the shit that happened with what's his face, Harvey Weinstein. Some of his allegations were decades ago.
Hold on. No. Here's the thing. I'm gonna make this shit real clear. As a resident, big titty feminist in this bitch, I am very annoyed when people want to bring shit that's been closed. When the case has been closed, when the bitch got the check, leave the shit the fuck alone. They did the same shit to Shaun White when he hit the gold in the Winter Olympics. They brought back some old shit. Nigga, did she get a check? Is she still grieving? Well, let's get the bitch some counseling so we get the fuck over it. Like, you're not gonna get anything else out of this. Why are you bringing up some old shit that's irrelevant right now? Stop it. It's just fucking retarded.
You sure you want to make that stance?
I get fucking angry. I fucking
Can I play devil's advocate though?
Because I'm not going to make that
episodes ago, you
stance.
brought up R. Kelly and the fact that
no, that nigga still does dumb shit. No.
But he wasn't convicted. It's old shit.
No. When you running, when you're running,
it's case closed.
No.
He still currently does.
Listen, I'm not.
This
Listen,
nigga is
I'm
running
Just
not
because you got
trying
a
to
sex
argue.
cult, y'all just out here.
Exactly. There's a big difference between Kobe. Kobe is a reformed. I wouldn't even say reformed. He got into some cutty. The cutty was suspect. She decided to flip it so she get a check. The shit ended up being kind of crazy. The wife got a big ass ring, and the kids is good. Years later, shit is gravy. Why bring up some old shit? Harvey Weinstein, he's still a fucking creep.
That's
he still
different.
does the shit.
I'm not advocating for Harvey.
That's what I'm saying.
All
No
I'm
one's
saying
Harvey.
is
That nigga got slapped in the restaurant. I was like, yes. Is there a line? Can I get on the line? Can I sign up for a slap? I need it in my life. Like,
for the devil advocate's point, all I'm saying is
No, I understand what you're saying.
R. Kelly wasn't convicted, right?
R. Kelly
And then
wasn't convicted.
He made sure not to get in some young cutting, although he's farming cutting. You know what I'm saying? In a sense.
Did you see the videotape?
Of course, who hasn't?
All right then. So then case closed.
I have.
Right, but he wasn't convicted. Case
Hold
closed.
on.
Saying?
I think we're overlooking a big part of this story right now. Because everyone's talking about what happened with Kobe without pointing out the fact that he also threw Shaq under the bus when he got caught back in the day.
Hey, listen.
When he said to the cop, and I'm quoting
Shaq.
now,
I
I should just
Shaq
paid him
name,
off
so
like
it
Shaq.
didn't bother me.
Nigga, ain't nobody asked you about Shaq. I still remember that. I don't give a fuck. Since we're going on to old shit, let's bring up some old shit.
But then
Anyway.
But then Shaq caught him with the Kobe how my ass tastes. So they even.
older
Listen, they worked through it. They worked through their
All
issues.
I'm saying is
they
gave
both
an
moved
award
on beyond
for
it.
acting like Michael. That's all I'm saying. I don't care about that guy.
Come on, this
Come on.
nigga.
I had to represent
Come on.
for the Michael fans. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead.
For the Michael, fuck a fan.
All right.
Listen, don't come for me.
So, there was who else that won? Best Supporting Actress went to Allison Janney for I, Tonya. It was interesting that a lot of '90s shit has been critically acclaimed, like the O.J. Simpson miniseries in recent years. I, Tonya, the Gianna Versace miniseries is also getting some critical role. So it's interesting that like the court cases that defined our childhood are now becoming like critical darlings in both TV and film. It's a weird nostalgia though, because you're like, it's a nostalgia over court.
Hollywood's fucking
Good old fucked up days.
blading that shit on Dick Wolf.
I want to shout out.
Everybody's in love with the dun.
I want to shout out Frances McDermott. She won for Best Actress in Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I'm sorry.
Some shit no one watched.
I saw that movie. It's a really good movie.
I'm sorry.
Cinematography was strong. Sam Rockwell also won for Best Supporting Actor. Much deserved award. I didn't even see the other competition because I didn't need to. I saw Sam Rockwell. I'm like, ain't nobody out acting his ass this year on this one. And I also want to shout out Frances McDermott because what she did at the end was she pointed out something called an inclusion writer, which I didn't even know existed. So an inclusion writer in Hollywood is, everyone knows what a writer is, right?
Yes.
So for people who don't know, a writer is a contract when you're a performer. It's basically something that you're required to have. Like if you're a musician, a writer can say backstage has to have Hennessy and chicken wings, which sounds like I'm being facetious, but that's literally what Ludacris as a writer would say. And stars
wants a specific M&M color. Like nigga, I'm not gonna do M&Ms because my whole
some
life.
of them will be like, you only have the red M&M. And the reason stars do that is to make sure that the venue pays attention to detail because they'll put something absurd. Because if you have that, then they know that everything else should be on point, right? Mm-hmm. But what you can also do in the writer is include staff. I did not know that. So in the inclusion writer, you can mandate they hire people of color or women or even LGBTQ folks as part of the crew working on the movie. Wow. And Frances McDormand is like, hey, if you want to talk about this whole diversity shit, be about it. Right. Talk about inclusion writers. Michael B. Jordan talked about his production company moving forward is having inclusion writers is mandatory. Mm-hmm. Netflix actually came out hand and said, we ain't doing that. Damn. Y'all can do what y'all want. We ain't doing that. But here's the thing. If enough stars in Hollywood start to do that, well, all right, you could try. The numbers won't be on your side.
We may need some for our show. I'm just saying.
No, but it's really, I love moments like that because oftentimes in Hollywood there's a lot of, I don't want to dismiss them because awareness is important too, but there's a lot of talk and not enough action when it comes to certain issues. Mm-hmm. And this is action. This is also like reminding me of when Jessica Chastain got, oh God, who's her name? I'm forgetting her name right now. She's the black woman that comes in so many goddamn movies. Oh my God, I can't remember her name, but she had a black female co-star. She wasn't getting paid as much as Jessica Chastain in the movie they're starring with together. Jessica Chastain is a white A-list actress. She heard the story and said, no, this is going to happen. And literally just came up to the producers of the film and said, if you're not paying her the same as me, I'm not doing this movie. And I'm just like, yo, there's saying you're going to support somebody, and then there's like, hey, yo, give her the check. And I think this is one of those moments. I thought that was a really dope moment at the Oscars. I thought Jimmy Kimmel did a cool job. Shout out to Lakeith from Get Out, reprising his character on stage. That was pretty funny. Anybody else? Anything else they want to talk about the Oscars before we move on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What?
Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, she was living her best life on that wreck. She's fucking jumped this carpet to Street Meryl Streep.
I can never say the country right.
She's Eritrean.
Yeah.
Looking like an Eritrean snack. She looks so pretty.
And then she got low key bombed on because she wore the same dress 3 times.
Yeah. When she presented with Maya Rudolph, she was wearing the same dress that she wore at SNL.
Goddamn it. She wears high end clothes.
What else was there? It was SNL and something else, another award ceremony. I think we were like, oh, real? Oh, okay.
No one gives a fuck. She wears high end clothes. Like how many chicks flip a bodysuit 8 ways? Don't come for her. What? Let her do what she gonna do. I'm just saying.
The black actress was Octavia Spencer. I couldn't remember her name for life. Octavia Spencer.
With jeans, with shoes, with sneakers, all types of shit.
Unrelated note, I know this is like, shout out to Eritreans. They're having a big year this year. Tiffany Haddish and Nipsey. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to take this moment to say fuck the Eritrean government. Shout out to the people of Eritrea. Y'all are dope. Yeah, government eat a bag of dicks though.
They know that shit.
Let me explain to you why. Because people are probably confused as fuck as to why I'm saying fuck the Eritrean government. So every year, the International Press Corps has a list of like the most press-free countries and the least press-free countries. Mm-hmm. Eritrea ranks lower in press freedom than North Korea.
God, no.
If you want to think about the type of society that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also in Eritrea, you're mandated to do military service, which is not uncommon in most countries. Right. Except in Eritrea, there's no end of the mandate. So you can be 20 years into this conscription and you're not actually fighting a war. You're just working on some rich guy's farm for free. You know what that's called? Slavery. And so before anybody comes and be like, oh, you believe in the media, why don't you ask the thousands of Eritreans literally risking their lives to get the fuck out? Okay, so shout out to the people of Eritrea. Y'all are dope. Government of Eritrea, eat a bag of dicks. Thank you.
To the face.
Oh, man. Moving on. In entertainment news, we got, big story broke recently. Blackish was trying to do a Colin Kaepernick episode, and ABC said, nah, son. You need to fall. What y'all think about that? Did that surprise you? That
I mean, ABC figures that they have a good enough cow to milk. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't want to like push it any forward. They didn't want like a big stud to kind of mate with it.
Nah, niggas was already on TV on prime time.
But Blackish is known for
but that's what I'm saying.
Blackish is known for taking controversial topics. They talk about periods, race.
I'm gonna tell you like
this. The election. It's why this is not one of them.
I think they looked at this show like you get yourself a bad chick who's into a lot of things, and she's just like no to anal or no to face shots because there's a line that she won't cross. There's a line that you know what I'm saying? Like the tip is fine, but anything else, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But no, let's be real.
With the swerve of the century.
What are you doing? Not my face. And everybody knows, not the hair. Not the hair.
We went from family drama to some drama in this family. Oh, my God.
Yo, we get picked up by a major network. They be like, you cool, but Mayhem Mike, though.
All right, Mayhem, start this over.
So I don't know what the fuck you
What were you saying? Go ahead. You got to start this over because I lost it. And we're just like, wait, what's happening?
So what really comes down to is Colin's a very divided topic. His ideals divide the people so much that if they were to bring him onto the show, they could talk about him. That's fine. Because out of sight, out of mind kind of deal. Like, they're just talking about it. It's not that serious. But to have him, give him lines, and support him because, to pay whatever, that would divide the country too much and drop their ratings. But then they don't want to take that chance.
But then my question to this is, right, mm-hmm. Blackish is one of those places where you can have like safe conversations in a comical way.
Okay.
This is beyond a black topic. this is an American topic, so why wouldn't you take such a show like that could really put a spin on it?
White people do this.
Colin
Black
spurned
people do
a type of rage into the American people per se that ABC doesn't want to.
Right?
Yes,
Listen.
because Trump is our president, because 45 is our president, because he has a great party, a very supportive party behind him. They don't want that flame. They'll do anything. They'll talk about slavery. They'll talk about all these other things. But Colin,
here's the thing,
no.
though. Here's the thing, though. Mm-hmm. Even if you're talking about something as deep as slavery, it's still a black topic. They're trying to tackle an American topic. They don't want to go that broad with it.
Okay.
At all.
But
and
you know
ABC's
what?
like, you know what? Like you said, we got a good cow to milk. We're not gonna fuck with it.
That's a great point.
You forget how much shit goes on ABC. ABC gets a lot. Ask me how the fuck I knew this, because I pay attention sometimes. I don't like fucking football. Guess who airs the fucking Rose Bowl? ABC.
Okay.
Sugar Bowl, ABC.
Okay.
Sometimes, I think. Like, all the different pre-New Year football games are college, it's usually on ABC.
I get
They're gonna fuck up their check. They're not dumb.
Right.
It's like, you know what? This is some things you talk about in your family, black people. Cool, let's air them.
And that's the only real.
But see, and I want to build on that. I want to build on that. Hold on, Chris. You gotta understand. There are people that still feel racism isn't a thing, or that racism is overrated, and that we're just like jumping the gun. ABC can entertain that, but Colin, the amount of rage that he sparks in this country, the amount of people that want to think about it from where he was to where he's at now, they're not trying to deal with it. The president spoke against. What did the president say about slavery?
True.
Right, but he talked about Colin. ABC's like, we'll take everything else, but Colin's a no. Colin's the tip that we're not taking.
That's a hard no.
But that's why they're trying to ask him to leak it anyway. They're trying to ask the dude.
Kenya Barris?
What's his name?
Kenya Barris?
Yeah, they're trying to ask him to leak the show anyway.
I mean,
YouTube.
it's probably.
I
don't know if they do season episodes anymore. Like, you know what? Sorry, season DVDs. Mm-hmm. It'll probably come out then, right? As a DVD extra.
Like, I need that shit to
probably
happen.
not.
I need that.
Why not?
Because it'll still be linked back to them.
Pirate shit is gonna be on the internet.
But I'm saying there's episodes of Boondocks that the network refused to air. There's episodes of Family Guy, South Park.
What y'all are missing?
Those are on DVD extras.
They don't want nobody to see this. It's not even about we don't want it to be on network channel. We don't want it. They don't want nobody to see it. That's why the shit was pulled to begin with. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't want. So if it's on the DVD, that means niggas is gonna pirate it. It's gonna be on the internet, and it's gonna.
But they didn't air it though. It's like because they didn't want their sponsors to air. Like when you're buying a DVD, it's optional, right?
Here's why I don't think it's gonna get a DVD.
Because they don't want no smoke.
Unless Colin's, unless the idea behind Colin kind of like simmers down and we all accept
it,
that's
not gonna happen.
Which is not gonna happen. Yeah. It's too much of a hot topic for them to be linked to. And people are going to be outraged and all this other stuff. Oh, you didn't air the episode, but you put in your DVD. You're trying to sneak this into us. You're trying. Look, they even tried to say A Wrinkle in Time was a political agenda. They literally tried to say A Wrinkle in Time is a political agenda.
For what?
For Black Revolution, pretty much.
I don't know Black Revolution, but it was like an attempt to put women in a prominent role.
It was a book that was made in the 60s. So you get to think about the time period of that book and what, because a lot of things that have a very, to me, books that have a very heavy feminist model to it, there is a heavy message. Like a lot of Margaret Atwood stuff, she did The Handmaid's Tale, and I read that in high school, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is this lady talking about? And we had to like take down the layers, and I was like, wow, this is some bullshit. So like, and then now you fast forward to 20 years, almost 30 years later after the book came out, it's a hot ass Hulu series, and it's very relatable now because women can they can see themselves in a situation that the women in the book or the show are in now. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense. A lot of things can be seen as politically driven, depending on who's writing it, depending on the era that was written in. But they're not going to play that shit.
Yo, I agree with you, Chris. It's all relative.
I'm with the smoke, man. Trump tweets about everything, so fuck the bullshit.
That's
my thing. Everything's fair game now, bro. Everything's fair game now. This dude says anything he wants. He will fuck with whatever he wants.
But here's the thing.
All over social media.
That too, right? But when everybody else does that, all of a sudden it's, no, we're not.
No, that does that. And here's why.
Oh, word?
He can say whatever he wants on Twitter. Is it messing up his check?
He don't. Well, it'll never mess up his check. He's
Right.
gonna get a forever check.
Okay, if they were to do something like this and drop a column bomb on us, it'll mess up their check.
But
It'll
okay,
mess
no,
up
but
the
that's
check.
my point
Okay,
though.
cool,
That's why I
but
don't
somebody
understand the
can actually
DVD
drop a
resistance.
physical
There's no
bomb on us.
sponsors
Like, what
in the
the fuck?
DVD.
Listen,
That's straight
here's something-
DVD.
here's something we don't talk about on the show
What
really
you're
too quickly.
forgetting is the platform that ABC stands on. ABC,
Family?
Yes.
But again,
No
they've
more, no
done
smoke.
episodes in which, like, the 13-year-old actress Diane is
Ocean.
talking about her period,
Right.
which is nothing that, like, very conservative people want to see on TV. They've
But
talked about the
first of
Trump
all,
elections.
What conservative person is watching Blackish to begin with?
Actually, 73% of Blackish's audience is white.
Yeah, no, because
That's the reason it's a successful show.
It's a how-to book.
That's literally
It's
a
a
reason it's a
how-to book
successful
for
show.
them.
Is because
Yeah.
it,
This is
even
why
though it's a
they
majority
play
black
along.
cast,
Let
the
me tell you
audience is
something.
majority black.
Here's why Colin won't make it, even on the behind the scenes director's cut. It'll cut into the check. And here's the crazy thing that we forget: as petty as Black Twitter is, white America is just as petty.
Right,
They'll
'cause
come
they-
for us.
they
All
won't-
those white moms
you know
will
what they
write
want-
letters
you know
and
what
join a
they
union.
want- Exactly.
They'll create a group and come
Exactly.
after them.
Right.
ABC don't want any type of those
I'm
flames.
trying to tell you, they don't want no smoke.
I don't know. I understand what you're saying. It's so interesting that Colin would be the one where they're like, nah, it's just too far.
He's too.
Right.
That
He's
shit
man's
goes.
too hot.
But this is what I'm
Sodomy.
No.
Nah, we
But
can do
this
that shit.
this is the shit that blows my mind. You're not scared of an idiot that runs a fucking country and somebody will actually shoot a bomb at it, a physical bomb. Like you're more concerned about your check getting cut than actually sweeping up bodies off the street because this nigga said something stupid. He called somebody who's working with nuclear shit Rocket Man, and you let that fly. You'll put that on the news, but then you won't talk about Colin Kaepernick.
Maybe they don't have a choice
Like, are you
with that.
fucking
No,
joking?
no. I just
They
no.
don't
I
have
agree
a
with
choice,
you 100%.
but-
You know we have these
but
folks up the air.
But this is the shit that blows my mind. Like I can't.
But then you gotta
To our
understand.
reality.
You gotta understand. We live in
I can't,
we live in a
bro.
country where the actual answer could be in front of you and people overlooking it.
Oh, fucking fact.
Dead serious. Like I can
Common
literally tell
sense
you.
ain't common.
The spoon does not exist.
Oh my god, I'm done with you. Oh my god.
All right, we're gonna move on to Jessica Jones premiered this weekend on Netflix. In case you haven't
Black
seen
Nerd
it,
Update.
you should.
technically
Jessica
Nerd
Jones
Update.
is a Marvel superhero comic. Well, actually, nobody even cared about this comic prior to this TV series.
Nope.
I'm sorry, I'm being blunt. That shit wasn't moving units like this.
No, it wasn't. We just knew it was Luke Cage's wife.
Yeah. But it's become one of the best.
Two cages.
It's the
I
best.
know,
It's
I
one of the
just-
best comic
that
book
was-
shows on
Yeah.
TV. And season 2's premiered, and all 13 episodes are directed by a female director, which has just never happened before.
13.
And it's. I've been watching a few episodes in. I'm not, gonna spoil anything. It's still dope. Just want to throw that out there. Check it out, ma'am. You want to add on to this?
I just want to say it's really dope because I felt like in season 1 it was like the buildup of her powers and what she can do, and the buildup of the enemy's powers and how deeply it affects us. And then we kind of like into this mental game. We was like, holy shit, how messed up we are. But then season 2 is like you realize the damage that she's gone through, how damaged she is as a person, how damaged she is as a superhero, how damaged she is that she dealt with so many the past villain whose name I can't remember. What's his name? All right, cool. So that past villain,
I know you're talking about the mind control
purple
dude.
guy.
Whatever.
And
Who
then it's
cares?
just
Don't
like
care about
going forward,
guy.
she dives into like her own history and her backstory, and it's like, yo, it's kind of relatable, but it's dope. So you're not even really focused on her powers like that. So watch it, definitely. I'm almost finished with it. Crazy twist at the end. Not gonna tell you crazy.
You know-
So you
you
finished
what
the
I-
whole season? already?
Almost.
So-
It's crazy. I'm like,
Damn.
one episode away.
We're really starting to like, because superhero movies have been dominating our screens for 10 years. By the way,
Yo,
Like,
shout out
the
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
The first Iron Man was 10 years ago.
Damn.
10 years ago was the first Iron Man.
You mean the best Iron Man movie was 10 years ago?
Well, no one's gonna argue with you there. That was the best Iron Man. Though no one remembers his villains because they don't matter. Anywho,
When I hear
that's
from
just here and there. I just want to throw that out there. No one gives a shit about who his villains are.
I remember some, but they dropped the ball with the Mandarin. They dropped the ball with when he
Because the
introduced War
Mandarin was
Machine.
racist that no one wanted to touch it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because it was just like, oh, why is he a villain? Because he's Asian. And it was just like, I don't know if I want to put this in a movie.
Mr.
Why,
Sizzle.
it was very limited visual of the
Like,
person.
I'm not gonna do
They
this.
made, they made the fucking villain an ideal.
Yes.
They didn't. It was
We
a
gonna fight
person.
concepts.
Ben
Okay.
Kensington was the fucking Mandarin. I was like, okay. I don't know how that's gonna work. But
Ben Kingsley, you mean Ben
Ben
Kingsley?
Kingsley, sorry.
Yeah, I got
Someone
you.
with a cap.
And he ended up having a British accent and some shit, right?
That's what
it?
was the
Yeah.
Which is called continental. not quite UE, but like not quite Mediterranean, not quite Asian. It's a little bit of everything.
Listen, that's back when movie 3 wasn't the wave. Movie 3 wasn't the wave because we can go back to Spider-Man, but I don't want to bring us back to that hurt.
No, the reason I mentioned that is because since superhero movies have been dominating the box office so long, you can no longer make a generic superhero movie because there's too many of them. So if you want to stand out, you actually have to make character pieces where people give a shit about you whether you have the uniform on or off.
Right.
And that's not as easy to do. So that's why I'm saying Jessica Jones is crazy because she never puts on the uniform. But it's a real superhero story, but it's like with or without powers. You're like, this is a fucking fascinating character piece, right? And that's why I also like another superhero show, Black Lightning. Y'all should check that out. Black Lightning, the CW show.
Did their shit.
First of all, I gotta give credit to CW though. When I watched episode 1 of this show, I said, who let this on the air?
That's a fact.
Who didn't review the pilot video?
Yeah.
Because in the pilot video, Black Lightning, I apologize, is not a fan of the police. And not like they might slow me down, but like, nah, fuck y'all niggas. I ain't yelling my peoples. I ain't rocking with you.
He was
like, I ain't
ass,
calling you. Don't
NWA.
ask me to do nothing. And I've never seen that on TV. That's nothing to encourage. I'm just like, it just caught me off guard. Like, CW. Like, it's a pretty controversial stance to take. And this even like the shit that they're dealing with in like the family dynamics.
Yep. There's a lesbian daughter.
Or even if you're a superhero and your spouse knows, how does that impact your relationship? It's not like they're gonna be like everybody's gonna be like, you know what's dope? You should go out every night and fuck up our insurance premiums. That's what you should go do. Fuck up my copay. That's what. That's a good idea.
Put the dad hat on.
Sorry.
They got real fucking serious about it. I like it because it talks about, it's very, it thrusts a lot of issues that are going on, and it mirrors a lot of things that we've seen. It's I would say the neighborhood or the town that Black Lightning lives in it mirrors Chicago.
It's any hood in America.
It's every hood in America, basically.
To me, it felt Chicago-esque. Or I'm gonna say Oakland-esque. Don't judge me. The first thing that popped in my mind was like, oh, okay, Chicago. But anyway, it mirrors, like you said, any hood in America. Pick one, and what's the basis of the issues? It's the Black Lives Matters issues. It's the police violence. It's the gang activity and how it seeps into the community's progress or lack of progress, and how all those things combine, and they can either be like, okay, we're gonna deal with each other in our own spaces and respect each other, or it's fucking combustible as hell. And it's like, you know that really big pimple on the back of your neck that's been bothering you? Someone's literally about to pop that shit. That's what Black Lightning is. Like each episode, someone's getting close, like, oh, I'm about to pop the shit out of this shit. And every time I watch it, I'm like, ooh, shit. What's about to happen next?
Like, it bugged me out because one of the episodes we watched with, well, kind of a spoiler, but the preacher gets shot in the street marching. I was like, damn, they just threw Martin Luther King in this?
Right?
Like, did this whole thing just happen right now on screen on, like,
during
primetime shows?
During a peaceful protest?
Yeah,
you know what
really?
I appreciate on the show is two of his daughters, especially the younger one, who you guys would recognize from Tyler Perry.
Yep, she was on House of Pain.
Though, as someone who doesn't watch Tyler Perry things, I recognize her
Ant Farm.
Yes. I was like, that's that Disney girl.
And she was in the latest Descendants movie, the thing I was telling you about.
Oh, really?
Wait, Descendants, that horrible movie you're telling me about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about that show...
No,
what I like about the show is that it shows what it's like for her to grow... Okay, so...
Right. You want to give some background with spoilers?
No, when people talk about the hood in America, everybody's poor. But what's something that no one realizes is that if you are a black middle class person, even like when I say middle class, I mean economically the same middle class as white in terms of your income and education levels, you're still more likely to live in the inner city around poor blacks, right? So you could be a middle class black in the hood, and it's showing that she's a middle class black girl in the hood, but she is a hood, and how she trying to navigate that. And it's not because people try to do it in like the stereotypical way where everyone jumps on you and accuses you of being white because you could read a book.
No, what happens?
Which is like, as someone who was a nerd in school, no one singled me out for being white. They singled me out for fucking up the curve. Like, that's what they were mad about. It wasn't about like, oh, you acted white. It's like, damn, they could. Fucking up the curve. I could have got 5 points high if we get this fucking score.
I'm doing your homework. What the hell is that shit?
I wasn't ever told I act white, but I've been told that I talk like a white girl, and it was in middle school. I was like, y'all bitches are just illiterate. Fuck off. Like, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, you get that a lot when you like my parents definitely brought me they raised me so that way I can like definitely pronunciate my words.
Your parents can't read, bitch. Mine can.
Yeah, so you get I used to get you're an Oreo, like they just went straight for it.
Yeah.
And
first of all, America's a fat country. How come we always insult each other with food? Every racial slur comes back to food. People are Oreos, bananas, apples.
Yeah.
Like,
what's an apple? A white person?
Native American.
Oh, nigga.
Yeah, I did not know that one.
We don't know that because we don't go that far.
Damn.
We don't.
Why would...
By the way, I wasn't using that, just using that as a reference. Thank you. Not using the actual term. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, pineapple, your mango, banana. Yeah, we get that. So, when you're an Oreo and you talk white, they think you're white. And then all of a sudden you get good grades. You're only reinforcing it. Like here it is. I'm getting 100. Like I told you before in my previous.
Like my melanin determines my GPA. Bitch, get the fuck out my face.
No, but that's what I like about that show, because while that is an experience, that's real. What I often find on TV shows is that becomes the only experience. Was I said, like, again, I'm a nerd. No one ever accused me of being white for being smart. And also, on a personal level, it related to me as someone who went to a school where my mom's worked. So watching, I'm like, I know you struggle, girl. Damn. Teacher calling your house like, did I do the homework today? Shit.
Nah, but you wasn't smoking fucking weed under the bleachers and shit.
You crazy. I had a West Indian mom. I'm trying to live.
The youngest daughter be cutting all the way the fuck up.
Nah, we couldn't do that. I had to be home within 30 minutes. Mind you, I walked to my school generally. One was 15. That's PS 282. No, I'm sorry. IS 68. And then Canarsie was 15 minutes. I had 30 minutes to get home, because if they called me and I didn't know, they didn't tell me I was at a program or I didn't check in, whatever, and they found out I was alive, well, I was gonna be alive that night. You know what I'm saying? It was death for me. I had 30 minutes.
That's crazy.
But
does anybody actually call to check in on the kids nowadays?
You have cell phones. And you have
right.
GPS.
Track your iPhone and all that shit.
You're right.
But
I had to read by the rotary phone. You know what I'm saying? And then the digital phone.
God. Check out both of those shows. They're dope. And one last Black Nerd update. Shout out to Michelle and Barack Obama for securing the bag. Netflix about to cut the biggest check. They're about to get their own TV shows. First of all, this is how you know this is your first black president. He said, I gave y'all health care. I wound down both of these wars. Somebody cut me a goddamn check. I'm out here. I read an article this week about why doesn't Barack speak up? I'm like, bitch, he did his time. He got out. He free. Leave that man alone. Jesus. That's your job.
Come on. This nigga ain't salt and pepper no more. He got like a jet black fade going on. All that stress went the fuck away when he left.
Once he hit that vacation, we saw him surfing.
You ever see the man was kite surfing? First of all, I never saw a black person kite surf, and I never saw a black person that happy kite surf. My son had all his teeth out. Just like, holy shit.
The Oakley's on.
Yo, but I would have done the same thing if I was in his position.
I mean, you got this clown fucking up. So all he got to do is just post a picture on Instagram and get 1 million+ likes. He like, y'all miss me. I know you do.
Listen, people talk about he needs to speak out. Listen, let me remind you why Barry ain't interested in your problems anymore, okay? Barry said, let's talk to Kim Jong-un. Y'all called him soft.
Yep.
Y'all called him crazy.
Yep.
Y'all said he wasn't doing this right. Your boy 45 says, let's talk to Kim Jong-un without telling anyone else in his staff. Y'all said, that's brilliant. Listen, Barry ain't coming back. Barry ain't. Okay. Y'all gonna do what y'all need to do. I'm gonna do what I need to do and live my best life. He's actually, on a side note, he's actually trying to build the Obama Foundation in Southside Chicago.
That's kind of controversial right now.
Yes, people are fighting him on it.
So there's a lot of people that live in, Southside Chicago. It's still a pretty underdeveloped neighborhood.
Purposefully. It's not accident.
Right.
Purposely. It's been redlined. Yeah.
Exactly. So what's happening now is he's really trying to push forward to get this building there. But there are a select few residents that are worried that gentrification is going to come in.
It will.
And fuck up their shit.
But it will.
Right. So it's a legit problem, a legit issue for them. It's like, yo, figure something else.
No, but that's the messed up part because they're right. If they build this giant, I think, what is it, $200 million or $300 million center that they're planning to plop down.
Some black
gentrification's coming with that. But at the same time, this is the largest investment in Southside in decades.
You know what's crazy?
So it's like...
Nah, but this is the shit that fucks with me, right? It's like, he's coming in, he's trying to level shit up. Yeah. You have to level up now. You can't just sit there and be sour because this dude's bringing money to y'all, which raises your property value. But now you can't keep it because you're not working as hard, even though you might not have the opportunity to do so.
That's the thing,
but you got to figure out something. Shit ain't gonna stay the same, and everybody's gonna be broke around you for life.
Right. But here's the issue: if fucking clearly Chicago's been having a crooked problem.
Oh,
for some years.
Yeah. And that's the layers that we don't really know anything about.
Like, they have a very, still 1920s
fuck Rahm Emanuel
way about doing some shit. So, because of that, there are some residents are like, nah, I don't see this working out for me. It's going to be a no for me, dog. Like, and I'm not mad
I can't blame
at
him.
that.
I can't blame him.
And it's like, because I kind of see it happen to Harlem. Why the fuck is there a Whole Foods in Harlem?
Oh, when Clinton moved in? When Billy plopped down at Harlem, everybody went, "Oh, Harlem's good now? All right."
No.
We in here.
Excuse me, it's not Harlem. It's Hamilton Heights and all of that extra shit.
I don't know what that is. I don't acknowledge that.
They throw all that extra shit on there.
That's like East Williamsburg. I don't know what that is either. That's Bushwick.
Yeah, so high.
They try to call it so high, and all the black grandmothers and aunties was like, fuck out of here.
My favorite, the Piano District. Have you heard about that?
Oh, yeah. In the South Bronx.
Yeah.
South Bronx.
Which is near the Bruckner, which means you can still get cut up in the wrong light. You better be fucked. Yo, we ever been over the Bruckner? Real late night. The hookers are still over there. They still, doing some illicit shit. I don't care if there's a fucking coffee bar. I want to live. Like,
listen, any place that there's a potential for a man to smoke crack and not be ashamed, I can't be there. Mm-hmm. Like, if you comfortable enough to be like, I'm out. I can't. You too comfortable. I'm sorry. I can't be here. But if the show happens, Obama's thinking about a talk show about the topics that dominated his presidency, and I think Michelle is talking about a nutrition show.
Which makes sense because
Okay, can we backtrack for a second? Why was America so mad that Michelle Obama asked them to eat more vegetables?
Because she's a black woman. Because she was a black woman.
Mad about some
Let me tell
carrots,
you something.
dog.
She was a black woman that was healthier than them. Oh, what's that? That's fucking rare.
There's people on the right that believe she's a man, which is to insult her. I'm just like, listen. Yes. Just because your favorite
they still think those are the same people that think
doesn't mean you should be this.
I remember I used to watch I think it was during their first run when he was trying to get into office, and Daily Show was doing the crazy press junkets with let's see what our viewers' ideas of the candidates that are running for president. And I remember they went somewhere and they interviewed all these old white people. And this one white lady said, she's built like a horse. And I wanted to say, bitch, this claw's about to punch you in the fucking throat. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and it's like, what's crazy to me? Like, the fact that people say shit without thinking, it's like, well, okay, like, because something's different.
Oh, you mean like that state that was like, yeah, we don't mind 14-year-olds talking to older women because they're probably hot? Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, that part. Go ahead.
Right,
yeah.
right. Just
I just want to pick you off that horse. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So... But yeah, I just remember seeing that and I was like, I can't watch this because I'm going to find this old white lady and punch her in the fucking throat. Like, I had to really stop myself because that shit was just so disrespectful. Like, having to hear that for the past 8 years, all the negative shit that they used to say about Michelle, meanwhile, she's trying to get your fat ass healthy and your fat ass obese kids healthy. Stop fucking drinking Pepsi like it's water, bitch.
You know what's crazy?
Like that shit used to really
You know what's crazy?
Yes, like that shit used to really irk the fuck out of me.
Really quick sidebar. So you remember all those health specials that Netflix had that everybody kept talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Before What the Health, there was one before that I was talking about that actually talked about, pretty much corporations deceiving us. All these diet Cokes, whatever. We know the difference. For everybody else, listen. If you're having Diet Coke to reduce on calories, you're literally doing the same thing as drinking a regular Coke.
Louder for the people in the back. Worse. Louder for the people in the back.
If not worse. And there was this kid, I can't remember his name, it's been so long, where he had like surgery because in his culture, I believe he was Mexican. I don't want to necessarily put that on him, but in his culture, it's better to eat because you look better, you're healthier. It's a prominence of the family. But he was too big, so they were discussing doing surgery and all this other stuff. They did the surgery, and guess what? Because his habits didn't change. I'm talking about a 2-liter bottle of Diet Coke, whatever. Right back into his old his weight class. Like a month, he went right back. So he lost like a month. Yeah, he went right back to it. First of all, that's a lot of money spent on surgery for you to go back to your weight. But then I brought that all up because here it is. The first lady is actually providing you facts. The first lady's out here trying. She didn't even go into the scandal about the food corporations back in the 20s and the 30s and what they used to do with fats and sugars. She didn't even go into that. She provided you.
Her platform was, let's find better options. Let's exercise
more. Get kids out.
Get kids outside.
Wait. Can we go back? Aren't the previous generation complaining about us millennials not going outside amongst other things?
Facts.
Wasn't the first lady trying to get us to go outside and exercise and play?
Day.
Right. And to exercise and do all diet, all this other stuff, which would help.
I just saw the article today talking about Toys R Us might close next week. As a corporation.
Yeah. So I just want to keep that. The reason I brought that up is because we're a country, we don't believe in like facts. We just look at the person who's saying it.
Right.
Like, I mean, we can only look at the person,
but
but
no idea how true that is.
The package. And that's why, like, honestly, low key, like I have my own issues with being. I'm loud. I don't need that. Thank you.
Yeah, you do. You kind of.
Anyway,
literally all three of us.
Now they trying to help it.
Anyway, shut your face.
You're mansplaining.
Oh my god.
Feminist. You fought for this. Season 2.
Vana, you were saying.
I done forgot my fucking fact now.
Anyway.
That's because the shade took over your body. The way you're sitting.
Vana shade here.
I felt it coming.
I wanted to hear you clearly.
Listen.
It's okay.
You're such a fucking liar.
Hopefully the Obamas secure the Netflix deal. If they don't, I mean, they'll figure something out. They still rich as shit. Like nobody cares.
That's
like
a fact.
I just want to share a funny anecdote. I think I read a story recently. This is unconfirmed, but Michelle told Malia Obama before she went to college, the only thing I want you to do is stay out of page 6. Damn, Malia. You got, listen.
That's not her fault.
Let me know. We as the nation need to talk to Malia. I don't give a shit if you wilding out in college. I'm not judging you on that as someone who went to college. I'm saying this. Your friends are snitching on you too constantly for them to be your friends.
Well,
Facts.
Okay,
Facts.
well, how do you...
If the videos are coming up from your inner circle, tighten the circle. Point blank, period. Because
that's a fact.
Listen, I was in a frat.
Yes.
And those videos would never leak out.
Never.
It's a frat.
Fact.
No. You don't
understand.
No. If I'm in a frat that's supposed to be party and, like ignorant and we're just into fuckery, right? And we never let videos incriminating each other leak out like that, why would you in an academic setting with academic friends have that issue?
Because she's a high-profile person.
That's not an excuse.
No. Let me tell you something.
It's not an excuse.
No.
My
man
in the back.
My man in the back. Say it louder.
No.
If it ain't about the money.
that circle.
It is
They
because of the
sold it.
money.
Tighten that circle.
But here's the crazy thing. She's kind of living in the cusp of the matrix and the reality because who is really her friend? Everybody know who she is.
Exactly.
Everybody's out to be close to her for presidential gain or some type of gain, monetarily, whatever, right? So I agree that, with Vana, like, they're all for the money. But at the same time, she does need to choose her friends. Once the first video came out, Y'all all getting cut off. I got new friends.
Okay, at the end of the day, y'all expecting her to be a fucking 40-year-old woman. Bitches that are in their 50s still got the same problem.
No.
I get you.
We're not even saying she should stop partying or anything like that.
We're just saying
like
watch your circle because I guarantee you, if a video of you in Florida at a club, shaking your tetas or something came out, your people will come after you. Your dad, didn't your dad come after you for the profile picture?
Because y'all don't fucking understand.
Because there was like a video that surfaced where she went to like a festival, right? And she was
That's a public.
She was like at Coachella.
That's a public.
And then she was in college. So it's just like, does she have to look out for these people everywhere?
Yeah.
Does she not trust
Yes.
any
Yes.
person?
Yes.
She's not gonna have no friends.
Right.
No.
Here's the thing, though. Do you expect this from Blue Ivy when she grows up?
Okay. I think so.
So here's the thing.
You think Jaden Smith ain't out here being a wild boy? Where the videos?
But see, no.
Put on skirts.
And she's higher than both of them, technically.
What y'all are missing is the dumb shit that people get to do in their 20s gets overexploited if you're a woman because you have to be chaste. You have to be wholesome. And then on top of that, you're the past first family. Do you understand the amount of fucking shit?
I'm not saying she has to be any of those things. That's literally not my point. My point isn't I'm judging her for anything that she's currently doing. My literal point is you shouldn't let your friends be putting you on Front Street.
No.
We're
not saying We're not saying that she can have bad decisions. What we're saying is your cleanup game has to be spectacular, on par. There should be no videos. We've all done dumb shit. We've all done dumb shit in college.
You haven't done dumb shit under the auspice of the entire
You're 100% right.
You're 100% right.
That's what the fuck you're missing. Like, let me tell you, I'll make a perfect example. My black ass, I'll use me as an example. Mm-hmm. I didn't do dumb shit out of the fear of getting my ass whooped, even though I didn't get my ass whooped, right? Yeah, but what really was my thing was, you know what? Do I want to get my allowance cut off? No. But did I do dumb shit? I'm not going to admit that on tape. But what I did do was make sure I did my shit by myself. I made sure that there wasn't if there was evidence of such, I deleted it, or I tried to as much as I could. But like, these are things I learned as someone that was is like the teeniest, tiniest, non-fucking factor.
I have a question. But does she not understand her celebrity?
She clearly doesn't.
But Malia is smart. Don't give her that much credit to be that ignorant. She's
smart. She's not street smart.
No.
What does that mean?
Your child?
No.
You gotta understand. I know what the difference is.
Your dad came into office being exploited by the media. Straight up. Your dad. Forget her mom. Forget her mom, right? Because let's just say her dad is her hero. Your dad came into this office.
At the end of the day, she's super fucking young still.
Yes.
She's gonna make bad decisions.
Absolutely.
Out of all the dumb shit that she could be doing, I will take this over her sniffing coke, bushes, bitches, and any other dumb shit that the first fucking families have done in the past.
We're not talking about
fucking friends.
But we're not. We're not talking about what she's actually doing. We're saying we shouldn't be seeing it.
If she fucking throws a tampon on someone's head, it's gonna be on the fucking front page.
I will use another example. Hold up. I'll use another example. Emma Watson, who played Hermione from Harry Potter, went to Brown as a regular student.
Yes.
Where's her tapes?
She looks like she's a fucking hermit.
But no, you're saying that she is high profile. She's high profile. You don't think everyone when she walked into a room?
I think right.
Okay.
You don't think everyone's
black?
Okay. No. Listen.
And you haven't really seen the Obamas like in some shit where they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So if they can catch any fucking thing, you know what I'm saying? They're going to try to catch Malia's anything.
Because
she's black and because this is like the black president.
This is our first black president.
You know, they're going to try to...
I understand that.
She's underneath an entire amount of stress that none of us will ever fucking understand.
You're 100% right. That's why I need better friends to help you get through it.
Boom.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. She's going to have to learn, and she's learning.
I hope.
And I'm pretty sure.
I hope she learning.
At the end of the day, the bitch still make more money than me. So do what you do, Malia. Fuck everyone else, okay? As long as your mother ain't mad at you, fuck everyone else, okay? Being patient all fucking day.
So wait,
Malia.
You think she don't get that, nigga? She
don't
get that text. She don't get the eyes emoji text real quick.
At the end of the day,
once the shit pop up on TMZ.
You gotta live your life for you. She's getting to that age. It's like she gonna do whatever the fuck she wants.
It's a different thing, Bruno.
Hold on. Hold on.
You know why? No. I got it.
She gonna do whatever she wants. That's a lot of inheritance you're trying to walk away from to do whatever you want.
They're not gonna
You're gonna do some of what you want.
Listen,
you're gonna do everything. Get out of here. That's a lot of money.
It's different when your family.
Y'all worry about Malia. You gotta worry about Sasha. Sasha's the one that's fucking like cut her throat. She gonna be a.
Sasha ain't got no videos out here either because she got good friends. I'm just saying. That's my point.
Listen,
Sasha ain't got no videos
she's
out
not
here.
in college yet.
I'm sorry. Sasha goes to one of the most elite schools in DC with the most privileged girls.
So did Malia.
But there's no video of Sasha.
Was there a video of Malia when she was in high school?
Wait, we talking about the generation that she's in? Because these niggas Snapchat everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's my point. We're in the same family.
Look, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman. When you got the family name on your back, you got to be careful. Because I have
like some Black Panther shit. I fucking disagree.
Okay,
I fucking disagree. I'm not trying to live for my fucking pappy. I'm here, nigga. Fuck that. Make all mistakes. Fuck it. God damn it.
So if Vanna said was the princess of Wakanda, she would be out here.
Yes. Working on a Monday, making some scientific stem cell shit on a Tuesday.
The Dharma Laje would be just stepping into your dorm room every other week.
I feel like she would be Nakia. She would be Nakia. She'd be out.
We're not gonna knock her again. We know you are in there.
We have the address.
If you haven't seen the movie, you're missing out.
This is not a guess. All right, what's the next topic? All
right.
Before we get Sage all inflamed again.
Shut up.
Boy.
All right, we're going to move off entertainment news into more serious news. The big story, not a big story, but a story that caught our attention in the last week is that something big is happening in South Africa. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of transition in South Africa. Cyril Ramaphosa has become the new president. He took over for Jacob Zuma, who was a failure. Fuck you. Goodbye. Anywho, sorry, I have a lot of hate today. Anyway. And what Cyril is doing something is very controversial. So everybody knew that when apartheid was white minority rule, where I think it's like 10% of South Africa is white, and they were the ones that were in charge of the country. The black majority was not allowed any sort of rights. The right to education, walk the same side of the street, jobs, travel, all that shit was taken away. And also, importantly, in part of that was economic rights. Mm-hmm. So you weren't allowed to own land. That was a big thing. Mm-hmm. So Cyril Ramaphosa, because the ANC, with the African National Congress, that's the party that Nelson Mandela founded when he came out of... Well, that's the party that he founded and took over when he came out of prison to become president. They've not been very popular in recent years because of corruption and failures on many levels. Yep. So in a bid to get back younger voters who've been calling bullshit on them, they want to do this land reform in which they want to take away land from white landowners and give it back to black people. And I know some people hear that and all of a sudden they think their first thought is that's racism. But there's a catch to this.
Actually,
how did the white farmers and landowners get their land in the first place?
Colonizer.
They took it.
Yeah.
So people like, two rights don't make it wrong. But I'm like,
three rights like a left nigga. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Actually,
give me my shit back.
Isn't farming 95% of the country's wealth? The where they get...
No, not South Africa. They got a lot. They got diamonds and all this other shit.
Okay.
No, but
they're getting some kind of income from it.
Yeah, it's the majority.
They have vineyards too.
Okay.
So here's the issue. The president said they're basically proposing to take back land from white landowners without compensation. So we're going to come take your shit and give it back to black people.
That clap in the back, though?
Right.
Here is my reservation to this plan. Here's my reservation.
Give them a boat to sink?
The same plan happened in Zimbabwe. Because Zimbabwe also had white minority rule, which, by the way, offends me on a personal level, that in the continent of Africa, there was white minority. God, I would have been so mad if I was a black African back in the day. You know, could you imagine that shit? You waking up every day, you in Africa, getting told by a white man. Oh my God, I would have had a rage stroke.
This old white linen sheet, 300-count motherfucker.
Let's go learn your history.
This
we was doing
mother-
good, then you came here. Did I cover everything? Does this essay need any more citations? But anyway. So that happened. So they did the same thing in Zimbabwe. And what concerns me about the South African plan is that when they took away land from white farmers in Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe went from the breadbasket of Southern Africa to one of the biggest importers of food because they took away land from white farmers and gave it to black people, which is dope, who didn't know how to farm, which is not dope. It's basically somebody said, yo, Ocean, you want to go run this farm in North Carolina? And my dumb ass said, yeah, let me go do that. Surprise, surprise, 2 years later ain't shit growing there because I don't know how to fucking run a farm. And my concern is that's exactly what's going to happen in South Africa.
So it's like you're doing this to quell an issue, but at the same time, it's not
prepared.
Right.
Yeah. So my concern is I understand it on a moral or a principle level, but if you don't do this properly, it's not just like, oh, white citizens are getting their rights taken away. You could potentially damage your economy because because as of this moment, Zimbabwe is one of the worst economies in the history of the world.
God damn.
Like not in Africa, in the history of the world.
Top five of the world, crack. God damn.
They print $50 million bills.
Wait, excuse me?
The Zimbabwe government prints bills in the millions of denominations. So $1 million Zimbabwe no can't buy bread. So my concern isn't like, this might look racist to the rest of the world. My concern is like, in 10 years from now, is South Africa going to still be a functioning country?
So I got an idea.
Go ahead.
How about we give the ownership to the Africans, the black Africans, and let the white Africans work on the land? I like that better.
And you can give them a wage. You can give them the same wage they were given before.
Hold on. Are y'all proposing sharecropping?
Am I?
Y'all really?
Does that word exist outside of this podcast?
Am I? What's sharecropping? I thought that was called co-op. What's that?
Damn.
We're cooperating. We're cooperative.
I pray to God they don't end down that path. But now knowing that example exists,
because literally right next door.
Exactly.
Next door.
I don't think they would copy the same mistakes exactly.
You'd be fucking surprised.
Because that's a good point.
That's a whole fucking country, though. Like, it's not like a small.
You
like,
do
that's
realize how many
South Africa, son.
motherfuckers are in our continent of Africa?
Yeah,
roll up.
We got a new guest here.
I just want to put my little. I'm Mike.
Yeah.
I just want to put my little input on this.
Yeah.
I feel like everything they're doing is just a band-aid. Like everything you just said, it seems like a band-aid. Who was it that they killed? Gaddafi? Or who was it that they killed that wanted to centralize the banks?
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
Gaddafi.
main
Yeah.
Gaddafi.
That's what they should be doing, centralizing the banks so we can control everything. And kick all the white people out.
I love it.
But I understand the process that
Right.
if they do that, every government, every country will collapse because everything comes from Africa.
Yo, Colton.
And they don't own anything. They don't own the energy. They don't own the water. They don't own the gold. They don't own anything. And they know if they centralize the bank, we're going to take over everything. And then y'all got to come to us. Y'all got to pay us.
No, that's one of the biggest issues that they're trying to address with the land reform, because I think the white population is like 10% and they own 70+% of the land. And that's fucking insane, right? And people are like, well, that's just the way it was. No, it's not. This would be like if Native Americans were still the majority of the American population and everybody in New England owned the majority of the land. That shit doesn't make any sense. But my concern is, okay, if you're going to take the land back, all right, fine. What's the plan? What's the end game? Are you going to teach these people not only how to farm the land? Because here's when I fear another thing. Let's say they do know how to farm the land. What's to stop foreign investors from just buying it off of them?
Exactly.
You get this parcel of land, you don't understand the true value of what you're sitting on, and I give you 6 figures, and you're like, yo, I'm just a middle-class farmer, I'm cashing out, and I, as the foreign investor, know, this water shortage is coming. But you don't even understand what you're sitting on.
I wish my friend Mel was here, because he was telling me a few months ago that they have something in play in South Africa where if you move to Africa, you can own land. You just gotta stay there for I think like 4 to 5 years.
Nigga, listen, I'm gonna blow my fight right now.
Well, they said if Americans, if you want to move there, you could get land
listen,
for free.
Because we need to start thinking about that too. Because one of the biggest landowners in the continent of Africa is becoming China. And the reason China is becoming one of the biggest landowners in Africa isn't just for like imperialism's sake. It's because climate change is real.
Right.
And one of the effects of climate change If the temperature starts heating up, right, that means there's less snow on mountains. Snow on mountains is what gives you rivers. Nice. Because when that melts down, that creates rivers. So as the water shortages start to happen, arable land that's consistently arable becomes a lot more valuable. So a lot of foreign investors are buying up land in Africa at a rapid pace just when this moment happens. So shit's fucking up in China. Oh, well, we have all this overseas land that we have that we can ship food from. And that's another one of my concerns with this land grab. It's like, are you going to educate these people to understand the true value of the land? Are you going to prepare them for what's coming? Are you going to invest in them beyond this moment of just, here's the keys?
This is a lifetime investment.
Yeah, this is not just some, like, I'm giving you a car, good luck.
Right. Yeah, this is generational wealth.
This is generational wealth, and you're giving it to people who have no concept of that because the system was created to give them no generational wealth, right? So it's like, I fully support on the moral level, but my concerns is like, it's a corrupt party trying to address an issue of original sin.
So you want to go to South Africa and buy some shit?
Juice, what's up?
The country? Listen, Black Panther can be real.
What kind
you just be from Brooklyn and Bronx. Ship that motherfucker over.
Could you imagine if the Native Americans in the United States started giving them back their land?
Okay with
that. My God.
I'm good. I got some Native American in me. I'm good.
I don't know. They might raise the rent in Brooklyn.
I got like a third of that motherfucker.
I got Amerindians. They're from a different continent. Does that count? They're native. They're just not from here.
Listen, listen, while y'all sort that out, I'm going to be in the ship waiting to come on land. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me. I'm just waiting to dock.
I'm going to keep track. We're going to keep track of that story because it's fascinating. I know it's going to come on the news because people of European ancestry saw the headline and they were upset.
And they tried to petition 45.
Oh my God! Thank you for reminding me of that. Niggas got some nerve.
Can we adopt all the white landowners
because they're being oppressed?
Migrate here to America because they're being oppressed. Bitch! If you don't get the fuck about it,
I thought y'all hated immigrants.
Yeah, aren't y'all building a wall?
Yeah. Why are they coming?
Would that technically count as one of those shithole countries? Oh, because he don't want those.
Hold on. We're gonna find another.
I don't know.
That shit happened like 2 weeks ago. He ain't said shit on Twitter, which means he don't give a fuck. So go ahead with that. Your little change.org shit don't matter. No one cares.
Random side note. Here's a random side note. If John Kerry had beat Bush in that election, his wife would have been the first African American president because she was a white African woman. She was born in Mozambique, so she would have been the first African American president.
No,
that's first lady.
Yeah,
first African first lady.
Yeah.
No. Isn't that a little mind fuck right there?
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
She more African than us in this room. She is.
No, I'm
she
not.
from.
Listen, wait. I dig you, but that's like saying lactate is milk. It's lactate.
Yo.
Let that shit be what it is.
There goes our lactate check. There goes that bus. We ain't catching that check.
Juicy.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
No, I'm not rocking with that.
Okay, you're not rocking me in this one? All right. Fine, whatever. Whatever, we're going to get letters for that one. Anyway.
Her lack of melanin doesn't make her qualified. Sorry. No.
She don't have the tab on the inside of her lip. You're not accepted.
Moving on to South Africa, back to another shithole country. So in American news.
We're going to get a letter for that.
Oh, we definitely get a letter for that one. I love America, and to the NSA guy, Jerry, listen to this. Whatever. Just take note of that. Anywho.
Right.
So the Washington Post is reporting that your boy 45 is considering a death penalty for drug dealers. And not drug dealers who are violent. I mean, for the act of drug dealing, you qualify for the death penalty. And they've been asking about how they can make that legal and what would be the resistance.
First of all, what he's really trying to say is kill all black drug dealers. Right. Because anybody else who's importing these drugs from, I won't say no country's name, no continent's name, you know what I'm saying? He ain't going to do that for them. They're going to get amnesty of some sort.
But here's the thing. His approach was, you're killing, or harming and killing possibly thousands of people, right?
Wait. Fuck that shit. What drug did the government introduce to the
black
black neighborhoods?
But
aren't they technically the drug dealers?
This is what I'm saying.
So shouldn't they kill themselves?
They need to push a man.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Push a man. Crooklyn, got you. kill yourself.
I don't even. Sage doesn't really like him because she says he's country as hell. But I like Plies because Plies be dropping shit. At certain times, I'll be like, you know what? That's why I fucks with you. First of all, I understand what he's saying. She doesn't. But
because he's country too.
Nothing wrong with being Bama.
But she was like, you stupid.
Yo, I'm listening to you, but he started me. I'm sorry.
No, but he was recording on Instagram. He was like, all right, cool. You want to feel that way about drug dealers? That's fine. You saying they're potentially harming and killing thousands of people. Cool. But what about your politician friends who fuck with the insurance game?
Big
and
pharma.
You kill millions of people every year. So are we going to give you the death penalty too? Because you're technically doing exponentially more harm by doing something on a piece of paper rather than pushing drugs. And that's one person's effect versus... Like, it takes 1,000 drug dealers to do what the hell you do.
But that's my strangeness about this story, because I know some conservatives just thought there was like a brilliant idea. Let's back up for a second.
Right.
So where he got this idea was from the president of the Philippines. His name is Duarte. To describe the president of the Philippines...
AKA No Chill.
The president of the Philippines once said... He was sad he didn't get to rape a woman during a press conference. The woman had been raped to death. He actually said. He could go watch the video. He also talked about personally killing a man himself.
Like I said, AKA Mr. No Chill.
He's ordered people to go out and kill people in the community with no consequence because they're drug dealers, so they have no value. And that's the guy he borrowed this ideal from. That's who's inspiring this.
AKA the movie Raid.
Right.
1 and 2. So they was really taking out drug dealers.
So the biggest issue in this country is the opioid crisis. Opioids are prescription drugs.
Big pharma.
The number one dealer of prescription drugs aren't street level dudes. It's distributors. Like, a distributor is different. So if you're a street level dude selling pills of Vicodin or Oxy or Xanax or whatever, you're selling a couple hundred capsules a week, right? If you are a distributor, I'll give you an example. There's a store in West Virginia that had, at one point, imported 50 million pills over a period of time. They had enough pills to give everyone in that town 1,000 or 2,000 pills each.
That's disgusting.
You know they're not doing anything legal there, right?
Right.
Are you going to kill the guy that runs that store? Are you going to kill the guy shipping it to him?
Right.
Are you going to kill the guy that signed off on that order? Because the dude that's selling it hand to hand is touching, 20, 30, 100 people a week? The guy that's shipping literal tons of pills is a guy in a suit somewhere in Manhattan, Boston, chilling. Does this law apply to him? Or is this only going to be folks that look like us? All of a sudden, this...
Of course, bro.
And also, how is this a capital punishment? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I thought capital punishment was supposed to be a deterrent. Like, okay, I'm sorry. This shit just blew my whole mind.
Don't apologize because it blew everyone's fucking mind.
It was sad, and then people were just like, yeah, that's a good idea.
And all the brown people were like,
you mean illegal lynching? That's what the fuck this is.
Another thing is like, okay, we had the Rockefeller drug laws. You get 5 years a gram, right?
Exactly.
Everybody got sent away. They locked up half the hood.
Had mad niggas at potentials.
At the end, when the drug enforcement started to ramp down, there was more drugs available than when those laws started. What the fuck? If the point is to fight the war on drugs, and the more money you put into it, the more drugs become available, what the fuck is happening? What's the point of this war? Oh, I forgot. It's like the aide of Richard Nixon said, an actual White House aide. He said, it wasn't a war on drugs. It was a war on the blacks. It was a war on the women. It was the war on the Jews, because we knew that the drugs that we were targeting, they mostly used.
The real problem was they started to make black rich men.
Yep.
So they're like...
Oh, that's a continuous thing. They're still doing that. But go ahead.
Yeah, anything. They don't care. What you got to look at is... I realize with corporate America... They find loopholes.
All day.
And then they make the millions off the loopholes. Once the crumbles fall down to the black people and they start making millions, that's when they crack down. Like, oh no, they got a hold of this, crack down. So that's what it was. They don't want generational wealth like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's what they're afraid of. So whenever black people start making millions, they start putting more restrictions. You ever look at, in New York right now, a lot of people is making money off of being, doing Lyft and Uber.
Yeah.
Every other state, you do not need a TLC license.
Yeah.
In New York, you need that.
Yeah.
Why? Because a lot of people's making a lot of money here.
Yeah.
So they want to put these things into play to make money off it and to deter other people from doing it to make money. That's just the key.
Fact.
If you got access to money, you can make political change.
Yep.
And that's the last thing they want us to have.
You have access to laws.
That shit just blew my mind, man. Especially, like, I don't know. It's so absurd to me that they want to fast track how many people you can kill. Essentially, that's what's happening, right?
Yeah.
I want to put the list of acceptable people to kill on behalf of the state. I want to extend that. And I'm sorry, it just pissed me off.
Ethnic cleansing, man.
Listen, man.
Legal ethnic cleansing.
There's a recent document that came out that said for the African American community, we are a $1 trillion country by ourselves. $1.2 trillion, excuse me. So imagine that. Imagine if we fuck the drugs. We don't need drugs. I would say, invest in guns for us because we need to protect ourselves, protect our stuff. But imagine what we could put at least $1 trillion towards. Hell, we could probably buy up a good portion of South Africa if we wanted. Start all over there.
We can buy a couple of pieces of
I would say buy Dub, but fuck them niggas. Oh, yeah, I thought I forgot? Fuck them niggas. Yeah, I'm sorry. Unilever 2.
So this is just the Washington Post is just reporting this is just a behind the scenes thing. It just kind of reminded me of during the Bush years when they were behind the scenes trying to figure out how to legally torture somebody, even though the law said don't torture. So they stopped calling it torture, started calling it enhanced interrogation.
Yep.
I'm like, bruh, if the outcome's the same, you're doing the same shit. Fuck out of here with that word change.
That's called white people politics.
I can't.
White
people.
We don't say white here. We say Uis.
I say people of European ancestry. Thank you. Anyway, so we're going to move on to some positive news. The Root had a list of the richest black people in the world.
Black excellence, biatch.
And number one is a name nobody in this room knows. Anyone wants to guess what the number one richest black person in the world is?
Devonna Casey.
I'm with you
Listen,
for a reason.
If you were the richest black person in the world, and we weren't in $1 million recording studio right now, we beefing. I should have fucking Dr. Dre behind these soundboards right now on this episode.
And with the spread, because she's always talking, she's a food snob, just like you. We need the spread every time, damn it. Sunday spread.
You get some hummus.
I need a Friday spread on Sunday, goddammit. First of all, don't you owe me from some Christmas dinner? Remember?
Nigga, this is not the Christmas Carol. What the fuck you talking about? Sandwich?
All right. We getting off topic.
Delete that.
We getting off topic.
You owe me a dinner from a couple of episodes ago, goddammit.
The richest black person in the world is a guy named Aliko Dangote. I'm saying your name all sorts wrong. I'm just going to apologize. He is worth $14.1 billion. Anyone want to guess where his fortune came from? This one's going to shock you.
Boats and hoes.
That is racist.
Wow.
Anybody else? Guess where his fortune came from? Anybody?
Steal.
You say steal?
Investing.
Phones?
Communication,
No idea?
Oil. Ganja.
Concrete.
Nigga, listen.
Makes sense.
His company produces 44 million metric tons of concrete annually. He's the largest concrete producer in the continent.
So
all those big building plans that's happening across the continent, he's the one that's
But it makes sense.
up all the concrete.
You go down a certain street, you know what I'm saying? They fix the concrete and it messes up with
So he literally building the roads in Africa.
Yeah.
I feel you, brother.
He's about to. So his company this year again. 44. I don't understand what just happened. What just happened?
Inadvertent shade.
What happened?
I plead the fifth.
He goes, yeah, it makes sense that he made his money off of concrete. Think about it. You walk down the street, they fix their concrete. A few minutes later, it's fucked up again. I'm like, oh, that's shady.
Oh.
That's super
Damn.
But it's the truth.
Damn.
You just lost one.
Damn.
You just lost one.
I just figured out his business plan. That's what I'm saying. I see past it.
Oh, my God.
I see through the cracks.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
Number 2 is a guy named Mike Adenuga, who used to be a cab driver in New York City, believe it or not.
Oh, he got an attitude then.
Now.
Yes.
He got an attitude.
He made his first million selling lace and distributing soft drinks. Now he owns the second largest cell phone provider in Nigeria and one of the country's most profitable oil firms.
Nice job.
5.4 billion.
Damn.
Ooh. Lace.
Hold on, so that's
lace
not even
fronts?
a close second.
Probably lace fronts.
Yo, this dude.
You know how much fucking money bitches pay for lace fronts?
Time out.
Just saying.
This dude has him in first place by triple his income.
That's crazy.
Number 3 is Robert Smith. He's a black American that nobody knows.
Robert Smith sounds like a Yui.
So Robert Smith.
Do they call him Bobby? Oh, what?
Slid that shit. His parents did that. Did that on purpose.
You know he's probably had to happen to him before.
Of course.
He walked there, Robert Smith. Now wait for Robert. I know.
Yeah.
That's happened to me. That's happened to me.
President accounting for.
Nigga, I'm here. Cut
what
the
you was expecting.
check.
Where's your HR?
He used to work for Goldman Sachs and Kraft Foods, and then he started investing on his own. Net worth is $4.4 billion.
Nice.
So he's just an investor.
Yeah, venture capitalist.
Shady boots. Shady boots.
Let him be.
Number 4 is the first name y'all recognize at number 4. Oprah Winfrey is number 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody know how Oprah got her money.
Yep.
Abusing viewers.
And number 5, I don't fuck with number 5.
Drug dealing pass or something? No.
Creflo Dollar.
Yeah, Major
Pablo
That's
Escobar?
what I'm saying.
Talking about Pablo? Talking about Pablo?
No, it's a saying behind every fortune.
Oh, it's a great crime? Yeah, I know that saying.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's how the Kennedys got their money.
That's a fact.
They're bootleggers.
Yep.
That's also how they lost some people. Anyway. No shade. No shade. But it's something like going through the cracks, though.
There's some families, I don't want to put the wrong family name, but there's some blue blood families in America that they actually fought the war for drugs. So back in the day when opium was the number 1 drug in the world, the Chinese were the number 1 users.
Right.
And the emperor tried to ban it, so he started banning opium sales. The number 1 seller of opium were
White people.
People of European ancestry. So they convinced their governments to go to war with China to protect their foreign investment. So it was a war for drugs. And the government is the United States and Britain won that war and forced opium sales in China. Yeah.
Yo, y'all really
and that's how some great fortunes were born.
You see the
Move
bullshit?
that dope. They were playing Future on those battleships. Young, they move that dope. Move that dope.
Whipping the whip. Okay.
Number 5 is Isabella dos Santos.
That sounds familiar.
Isabella dos Santos is from Angola.
All right.
Her father was president of Angola. Her and her daddy ain't shit. I'm sorry. Here's why Isabella is worth $2.6 billion.
She's an heiress.
Yeah, but she never had a job, so what's she an heiress to? You're like, well, I mean, heiress just has fortunes. Isabella's daddy, before he died, transferred Angolan money to her name. Not Angolan, I mean like the nation's money
It's like,
to
oh,
her.
in my will, you shall inherit the wealth of Angola.
Angola is one of the poorest countries in the world. So not only did they steal money, they stole it from the most desperate of people. Congratulations, you ain't shit. Anyway, everyone just acts as if she's just a normal person. Like, she earned her money.
I want to see a picture of her.
Fuck out of here. Like, and you're probably wondering why is her name Isabella Santos and she's black? Because Angola used to be controlled by Portugal.
Right.
Okay.
So it's an African country. They speak Portuguese.
questions about
You know,
that.
there's things that happen like that.
She probably looked like fucking.
The rest of the list is names you won't read. The rest of the names you won't recognize. Here's the question that I ask for you guys. Do you think in 10 years there will be more or less black billionaires? Because as of right now, the number of billionaires is expanding exponentially each year, but it's mostly concentrated in China. But the top 5 fastest rising economies in the world are in Africa. So more or less billionaires?
More.
And if so, a lot more or just like,
more.
Yeah, this number is not that big of a
more.
change.
Because even if we get one, it's still more. But I feel like somebody's going to reach out to some of the past, the billionaires now, the millionaires now, and look at investing. And remember, we don't see how they see things. They see profit. They see all different types of things. So just because they're not loudly saying what moves they're making, doesn't mean they're not making moves already to kind of platform them into the billion territory.
I say more, but not exponentially more, because
I can see that.
I mean, a country opens up and uses its resources for whatever it is. There's going to be one person that's ahead of the curve of everything.
Yeah.
Everybody else is going to be like maybe 100 millionaires or whatever. It's not going to be a lot of people that make billions off of it. So if you get like 2 or 3 out of a country, there's only going to be a handful of countries that actually really like manifest everything that they have going on their soil to the best of their ability. Somebody else from another country that has billions is going to be like, nah, I'm going to be the first one here. Y'all don't even get to touch it. Everybody else is going to work underneath me, and I'm going to be the one that had the spearhead on this.
So you don't foresee more Americans making this list?
Oh, that I do, yes.
You already got us.
If they're black Americans, I don't know.
I'm torn, like Natalie and Brulia.
Right there.
Wow.
I'm surprised she didn't say Kelly.
I think it depends. It depends on if this whole black power movement and this whole like entrepreneurship movement is going to continue. Then perhaps, I don't know about billions territory, maybe a couple millions, but it's going to take some time to get to that billions category. But like you said, who knows if the curve is going to be even higher than billions for those who are at that status for right now,
It's going to be an interesting world. We'll if we have, let's just say 5 more black billionaires.
I see trillionaires popping up in the next couple decades.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's going to be scary.
It's going to move to the level of trillionaires. So now we're at billions, but they're at trillions.
Yeah.
So.
No, listen. If we ever, the first trillionaire is going to be the scariest dude the world's ever seen.
Yep.
Because when you got the type of money to like
remember that was like,
erase countries off the map,
get rid of us,
or just bring a country up.
My slow ass computer still runs slow.
Oh shit!
Sorry?
The guy from Amazon who owns Amazon?
He's 100 billion.
100 billion?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a lot of money, but that's not a trillion.
But
Trillion,
Trillion, no.
trillion is nation wealth. G.
Is that net worth or actual liquid?
Either way, that's still a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot of fucking money.
No, seriously, because if it's net worth, that's influence. If it's liquid,
listen,
that's how dust you off if I feel like it.
Listen,
oh shit!
Like I hit threatening presidents on Twitter. Oh, you think Trump was powerful?
This dude,
bitch ass talking about me again.
This dude
got $1 trillion in my bank account.
He's single-handedly taking down the toy industry with his e-commerce shit. Single-handedly taking down the toy industry.
He took out the book industry. He about to take out the grocery industry.
Yep.
Coming for everybody.
Yo, yeah. Goddamn.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Mike from the audience. Come here, Mike.
Collect your thoughts, my brother.
Isn't it a thing where you can't monopolize a certain industry? Like,
Nah, they said fuck that already.
No, you're right. There are monopoly laws, but as I've learned this year, it's a mantra I keep saying, laws are only as powerful as those who enforce them.
and the winners make history.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Trump's people don't care about regulations, so the laws that regulate industry won't be enforced. So you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're right, but they don't still care.
Most recently, I just heard somebody having a conversation about like the main reason Trump went for presidency is like access to natural resources, period, for his own wealth afterwards.
He can't even spell natural resources.
That doesn't matter. Some of the richest people are not smart. They have nothing to do with it.
There's not smart, and then there's remedial. He's remedial.
Okay, you have to be smart and be wealthy. Like
No. I don't need you to be smart. I need you to be competent.
No, that's not a qualification to
I
be
need
rich.
you to be able to drink with one hand.
Sippy cup.
Not looking like a fucking Neanderthal. Need you not
grown man. What's happening?
Yo,
with them big ass hands he claims he has.
Drinking a sippy cup?
Yo, he had a cup in his hand, bro, off the podium and had to drink it like this. But you making fun of somebody that had smaller hands than you? My hands are huge. They're huge.
You know what?
Fuck out of here.
We're gonna move on before we get shot. Before we all end up in black vans. I'm just saying.
All right,
but still, sippy cup ass motherfucker.
I'll be fresh as hell with the feds.
So I want to start a new segment. I'll call it Good or Not. And here's how Good or Not works.
Okay.
I'm going to describe something, and you're going to vote for good or not, right?
That seems simple.
And the first thing up for a vote, Love and Hip Hop. Is this show now good? Not in the sense of, if you like the show, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying, is it good as a platform now beyond just a reality show? Is it a good show as a place for people to establish bigger brands beyond just trashy reality TV? Is it a good platform now? So, show of hands. All those who say it's good. Raise your hand.
For everything you just described, yeah.
Everyone that says, nah. All right.
The cheese stand
Let's
alone?
get into this. Oh, I don't have a vote in this because
what kind of shit?
Here's why. I watched one episode of Love Hip Hop New York and it made me sad. I said, Jim Jones, you don't have to go out like this. I couldn't watch this shit. I couldn't. But shout out to Cardi B, Amara, Joe, all the people that built their careers. But Mona Scott, you got Mona Scott. Oh God,
she's sitting on the bag.
Shout out to her for violator management years, but this Love and Hip Hop shit got me. I don't know how to feel about this show. I'm sorry, I don't. I have mixed emotions about this show.
The reason I have mixed. All right.
She was so okay. So there's been moments. We need to call Vanna moments, okay? She fell off the chair. She shot a gun in rock, paper, scissors. She took her whole mic off the mic stand. You know what I'm saying? What else?
All right.
Stay tuned.
Vanna, you were the sole nah in this vote.
I'd say nah. Just because, I feel like when you get on a show like this, if you're not completely immersed into their character or AKA yourself, outside of this, you're not going to be successful. Like, the realest ones, like, you know what, I can't do this shit because it's either too much, I don't like the way it's affecting my family. Motherfuckers get complexes off of these reality shows. Like, they really think they're important. Because, you know, housewives that eat, like, fucking Haagen-Dazs at night while they watch you and tweet you saying you're the shit, you really get big off of that. Okay, I understand you, mama or papa. I understand. But at the end of the day, it's like, is what you're doing, how you're representing yourself, really worth the check? And that's one of the things, one of the reasons why I had to like back off of reality shows, because it became like either you too ugly, this is a lie, or your ass ain't real, that's a lie. Nigga, your breath look like it stinks, I ain't fucking with that, this is a lie. Like, it was a Maury situation. They determined this was a lie.
Carpet bombed so many people.
Why your breath look like a snake?
You know.
All right.
You know.
All right. Let me come in real quick. I will piggy off back and say that it does force people to be unique and building characters, because we've seen it all.
Being a character.
You know what I'm saying? And like, Amara Negra is like one of the realest. Like, if we found out that she was all plain, we like, damn, son. Like, you really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't. But think about it this way. What's so different about this show than like The Voice? They all got drama. They all got like all this like stuff. I don't watch
that shit either.
Okay, well, any singing show where you have to compete on a competition, everybody's got drama. Everybody's going through something. Everybody's singing for somebody. Get cancer. All this other stuff been rough. What?
So
American Dance Crew, right? American Dance Crew, whatever. And then when they win, what happens? They jumpstart their new career, which is the same thing. You just gotta know how to win. It's the same thing. You're getting emotionally involved with these people. You start investing in their beliefs.
Took how many seasons of Love and Hip Hop, all collectively? There was the Love and Hip Hop. The Miami's new. Love and Hip Hop. How many seasons in New York? How many seasons of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? Mm-hmm. For us to finally get our first real breakout star, which is Cardi.
Okay,
Cardi's the only fucking person to have successfully been commercial out of this shit. It's been years. I want to say it's been almost 10 years.
Wait, no, that's not true.
No,
Who?
K
Michelle?
Yeah, K Michelle.
Yeah, but K had limited success.
Okay,
no, but K Michelle had a top 5 album.
Hold on.
She had some kind of success out of being that platform of Love and Hip Hop, I would say.
But she also
because she had like album sales and things like that after she was on Love and Hip Hop. And that was somebody that nobody kind of really knew before that, you know?
Let me add on to that really quickly. No, you have a great point. The problem with Love and Hip Hop went left field from what it was supposed to be. Because I remember talking to you about it before when it came out. I was like, yo, this is dope. Everybody wants to know about, you know, what's going on in the hip hop world. Then they made it like pretty much a musical.
It became like baby mama drama.
Right.
Baby mama drama.
But think about it. It's an oversaturated market because we had Bad Girls, we had Real World and all this other stuff beforehand. Right. So then when they actually started making getting credible writers, that's when it started actually building upon. And now since Cardi B and Mara Negra is here, it's even more popular than what it built up to be. So right now, to answer your question, yes, it's a great platform right now to build up.
That's what.
But it did take some time.
Right.
I was gonna say it's a great platform for women.
Right now, I would say yes.
No.
Right now, I would say yes.
Because you don't see too many dudes transition off this shit. They either become ancient niggas They look like they ain't shit when they get there, and they kind of look like
Peter
they got
Guns.
Wait, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like they end up with a bit more baby mamas, more drama around their life, and their careers never really move. Joe Button was a point of reference before, but
he's fucking 730.
No, but here's the thing. But Joe's been a fucking
in the best place that is.
Yeah, because they said, oh, he's crazy. Let's put him on a microphone.
Nah, but listen, Joe was crazy on his songs before he even got there. You just actually got to visualize what he was talking about in his music. So when he came off, and he had his own podcast before he did Everyday Struggle anyway, and people were listening to him because he actually was with Slaughterhouse and still actively like pursuing his craft. Joe's one of the top MCs in the league, period. So you can't take that away from him despite whatever he does with his penis.
I'm not devoting his success solely.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as females are concerned, 30? You could come from nothing and like you have no face anywhere. Do your job on this show, create a little bit of buzz, find a moral standing somewhere in the season, end up doing fine, come out with a lingerie line or something, and then make something out of yourself. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm fucking top.
They can.
That's what the fucking feminists about to come out of me right now. I'm about to go the fuck off.
Hold on, before you go off. Remember, a lot more singers from like The Voice and all these shows were women, and they were more popular than guys.
The Voice is
remember my comparison.
His point was the drama aspect of it.
Right.
There's not really drama.
There is.
They give backstory to every single.
Okay, there's a backstory.
So you lived life and you came on the show because you can sing.
What you're missing is, in order to vie for someone on a competitive show like The Voice, you have to give a backstory so you can give someone a reason to fucking want you to win.
To vote for you.
Duh.
Right.
That's just a point. That's just at the end of the day.
But then here's the thing. You're on there to sing. I don't give a fuck about what happened to you before that. Can you sing?
No, that's a dude's point of view.
Think about it.
Do you vote for these things? You know who vote? The fucking Vaginas.
I get
and they
that.
Like, I want her to win because I want her to go get chemo. Yay! Like, that's what the fuck happens.
This reinforces his point of you. The drama is what sells it. It has nothing to do with your talent.
I'm like Mary. No more drama, bitch. Like, I can't.
I want you to know that Mike from the left side of the table thanks you because it's the drama. This is a perfect platform to launch your career, especially if you are a woman right now, because women are winning. I'm sorry. Women are winning right now on Love and Hip Hop. Right, boom. This is the perfect time. If next year they do some shit, maybe.
Y'all the main audience anyway.
No,
this is true too.
So y'all know about the story. Y'all know the backstory. You'll follow her on Instagram. She'll come out with a product line, whether it be makeup, lingerie, bodysuits, waist trainers, fit,
this nigga say
flat tummy tea.
Memoist.
It's not only
Y'all fought for.
Am I lying?
I'm not disagreeing with the fact that it's a go, but I think it's a go for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like even
absolutely.
rappers that are not really known. Because to me, I think Joe didn't really get that much credibility from being off Love and Hip Hop.
No,
you know what I'm saying? He didn't pop from being on Love and Hip Hop.
Thank you.
No, let's look at like they bought B2K back through Love and Hip Hop. Like Omarion, they bought
First of all,
Fizz and stuff like that
Omarion
back
needed
through
help.
Love and Hip Hop. So that can
Let's
help.
be real. No. Let's call a
But
spade a
that's what
spade.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Look,
it helped boost them back up because it's like, damn,
Omarion
I
needed
ain't
so
hear
much
from
help.
this
He
nigga
did a
in
song
years.
with Chris
Where
Brown
he came
and
from.
got
You know what I'm saying?
outshone and pushed back to where he came from.
That's kind of what it helps.
Smeagol.
Even males do too. It helps boost people's careers.
But then
Safari, look at that. Who knew Safari was a rapper?
No.
before
No.
that?
Wait. Yeah, wait a minute.
I'm
Now,
cutting the check right there.
insert feminist shit. Did y'all see this nigga's penis?
No. Did you? No.
Wait. I'm not talking to the penises in the room. I'm talking to the vaginas listening. Did y'all see this nigga's penis?
I heard. So one of my
y'all talking about fucking bodysuits. I'm talking about penises. Fuck
one
y'all.
of my coworkers. I want to say
My Uber's here. I need to go.
One of my coworkers who moonlights in the professional porn industry.
Wait, what?
Yes, don't worry. I got secrets. So anyway, I got secrets. Anyway, she said that was digitally imposed. It's not the real thing. There's certain things to it. But anyway, Safari's a great point. Listen, we all remember making the band, but does anybody remember the male rappers' names by any chance?
Dylon.
Besides Dylon, who's
Ness.
Dave Chappelle? Ness? Right. Does everybody remember Babs? Okay. All right. So my point exactly. Like everybody remembers the females more so than the males. I get you.
What?
The males aren't going. The males aren't going nowhere. Safari, no. Safari kind of made his own presence since Nicki Minaj. Since Nicki Minaj.
And he constantly tendencies. I don't like his ass.
What's that guy that looks like Master Splinter on the show?
What's
Stevie J.
The muskrat
from the show. Okay. All right. So besides like, what's her name? Julie's? Whatever her name is? Jocelyn. Besides piping her down and messing up with her mind, what is he good for?
Making babies.
He's actually a very legendary producer.
He is.
He doesn't get his credit for his production.
What's his beats that he did?
He's done a lot of
Hold on, one person.
Mariah Carey's like
B.I.G.
Like,
he's done a lot of
Mariah, no voice.
But no.
Beforehand.
Wait,
No.
All right.
So my point.
Let's wrap this up. We got other topics.
My point to this was, these women can come there with nothing and make something.
If you're pretty.
No. She can have a hustle about her.
Because
wait. Because not a lot of dudes think Rashida's pretty as hell.
Oh, I'm out on a negro.
And she gets her bag.
Because she been getting the bag before the shit.
I know, but when she got on there, it boosted.
No, because what boosted was fucking Kirk Frost's trifling ass.
You know what?
Yes, her storyline was what boosted.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna move forward. We're gonna move forward with this because we're gonna be here all day. You know what I'm saying?
It's a hot button topic.
All right,
stick a pin in it.
All right, one more. Actually, I'm not even gonna do another good or not because y'all took too long on that one.
No, we got to do that one.
No, we're gonna come back to that.
God damn it!
I have to ask. We're gonna ask a very important question that we ask every week. Whose man's is this? And this week's candidates, we got two special ones for you. The first one, I'm not going to give his name because I don't give a fuck about his name. I'm going to call him Uncle Ruckus Italiano. Okay? This week, the Italian country, that's redundant, Italy elected its first ever black senator in the history of the nation of Italy.
Yay!
No, there's no yay.
No yay.
He was elected as part of the anti-immigrant party. He is an immigrant.
Double bar.
This man. People ask him the obvious, as a man originally from Nigeria, how can you be someone as part of the immigrant party? Anti-immigrant party, just like, I'm just here to represent Italian interests, yada, yada. Nigga, you ain't Italian.
You like too much pasta. That's what it is.
Christian, I know you're not talking.
You like too much. Listen, I love pasta. I could never go back on fried chicken.
Wait. What?
Do you completely forget everything? Like half of that damn place is going through turmoil because Italians that are anti-immigration are literally beating these people's asses in the street.
Facts.
On a day-to-day basis. And you are black. And you get that position.
He doesn't see color.
Oh, I get that part.
Oh my
Listen,
God. When people say that shit, I want to
I love that.
Hold on. Hard pass.
Wait. I got you. Hold on. We're gonna make it real simple. I can tell you how he sees color. Can he tell the difference between red and white sauce? Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. You live in Italy. You know the difference between Alfredo and ragu, nigga. You see color. You just choose not to abide by it because you brought that point up. Don't give that man.
I just want to say, people
what?
who don't see color, people who think racism is just a thing and people are making too much of it, kill yourself. Don't bring yourself around me. Kill yourself. No, seriously, there's a river.
Off the Leaning Tower, bitch.
I also remember somebody once said to me, you know how you stop racism? You stop talking about it. I'm like, so which I responded, you stop racism, you stop talking about it. I was like, to which I responded, okay, that's cool. Name me a problem in your life that's ever gone away because you stopped dealing with it. And I was like, you hear that silence?
Chlamydia.
That's...
Not today.
I have... wow.
You want to be an adult, bitch? Then fucking step up.
Wow.
You've been ignoring that fucking itch down there. You're
going to
have bigger problems.
Cranberry juice is not helping right now. Wow. Earlier I said the tip, and this one with chlamydia. All right.
Oh my God! Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna move on from this. I got nothing to follow that up. A second candidate to ask the immortal question: whose fucking man's is this? Is another Florida teacher got caught being racist.
God damn it, Florida.
Last time it was a Florida teacher with the white supremacist podcast.
Throw
We're trying to make the argument that she was doing satire. I don't know how arguing that black people are an inferior race in your podcast and in your classroom is satire. You tried it, though.
You tried it.
This one was a middle school teacher, and a gentleman was passing some, mentoring advice to the young students. And he wanted them to know that you should avoid dating the black boys because them niggas is no good. And that's not me speaking. That's him speaking to middle schoolers. To which the middle schoolers why do we have a situation in this country where children are having to be the adults in the room? Where a 12-year-old has to go, you know what, mister? That's racist as fuck.
For the same reason people are able to buy guns and shoot up schools, but aren't called terrorists. Oh, remember that? Hold on. But black people are... Wait. But black people, right? Niggas are such a danger, right? But can anybody name a time when a black person by himself went inside of a university and shot up a whole school? Don't get me wrong. We may have gangs. Gangs may have a shootout between themselves and people may get hit, right? I went to the number one worst school in New York City. In Brooklyn, if you want to be specific, right? In New York City, right? Nobody shut up the school. We had SWAT. I had a guy killed. He was stabbed. He was stabbed with a fucking ice pick. You know how big an ice pick is? I've forgotten what stabbing somebody with an ice pick is personal. Nobody ever shot up the school. And there was plenty of people in different gangs. You could have missed one person and shot somebody in the gang that you had beef with. Nobody did it to this day. But we're the terrorists. Right.
Listen, the kid that went, what was it? A black kid most recently in Michigan went into school with an assault rifle and shot his parents.
That was wild.
Yeah, he killed his parents. He didn't shoot everybody. He said, I'm coming for y'all. Specifically. No spread fire. He came in with a
That's wild.
But we're the threat. We're the threat
because we know how to aim. Is that what it is?
No.
Is that what the fuck it is?
No.
Because we know where our fucking target is.
This is a weird conversation we're having because people are still dying. I just want y'all to know. The goal is nobody dies.
No, we understand that. But the goal is to stop fucking targeting us and stop profiling us like we're the fucking problem. Wake the fuck up, Billy and Timmy. What the fuck? Like, I don't understand.
A whole university, more than once. A concert. At a black concert, shots will go off. Nobody gets hit because generally shots are in the air. People might get hurt from being trampled. Don't get me wrong. Right. But nobody goes to a concert. I'm going to shoot into the whole crowd. I'm enjoying this dude to move bitch out the way. He pushed me. I'm going to shoot everybody in front of me. Nobody does that.
These are still bad things, though.
Yes, they're still bad. No one's negating the negativity.
No.
But
we got to do the level. We got to do the level.
Off topic, what you said about the shooting in Vegas. Did you see the video of a helicopter shooting down into the crowd?
No, I did not.
Wow. There's a video of a helicopter, like somebody was recording from the hotel, and then like they see the gunshots. Mm-hmm. Then you see the helicopter flying like around, and you see like the muzzle flashes from them shooting down into the crowd. Wow. And I don't know, for some reason, like it didn't spread around, but I would have thought
they covered that up.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory.
We may have to look into that.
We have to double check that. We have to double check that one. But
we'll look into that definitely. But that's dope, bro.
Listen. Good people of Florida. I want
to have a
conversation with you for a second here.
Let's go. Miami goes
with that. Cut y'all the fuck off.
Relocate them.
Florida is produced some of the finest people in America. Okay, they gave us Uncle Luke. Okay.
No,
that man is an icon. Okay.
To this day, if I go to a whack party and Uncle Luke comes on, I'm going right back. Hold my coat.
Sage, don't shake your head, shake your ass. You know where it goes.
I want to rock.
Okay.
Did she go to? She went to school Florida, right? Talking about okay. There's probably a video of her.
Miami gave us the soundtrack to Scarface. That's a dope ass soundtrack, dope ass movie. Okay, but every time Florida's in the news, what the fuck is happening? This is the only state in which I can read in the same paper where someone's being racist and guy eats roommate. Oh, that's my favorite Florida story, by the way. Guy got caught eating his roommate's face, went to jail, and wants to make the argument of like he's atoned for his sins and just wants to go back to living a normal life. Nigga, you ate somebody. Ain't somebody's no going back from that. Ain't no like do-overs when you ate some. Do you know how that changes the conversation? Let's pretend this. We all talking to somebody's like, yo, you went to prison? Yeah, man. I made a mistake when I was a kid. What happened? Sometimes you just eat a nigga like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just ate his face. But now I eat chicken. Now I eat vegetables.
I will feed you to my children. No, I'm just joking with you.
I'm vegetarian.
Florida.
That nigga was serious.
I don't know if it's the sunlight. I don't know if it's the hurricane.
It's legit.
I don't know if it's the free liquor and pills is popping everywhere.
It's a combination. It's
Holy
mostly,
crap.
Not for nothing. You know how Seattle has a problem with suicide?
Yes, because it's raining all the time.
Because of lack of the sun.
Yeah.
Florida's like that because there's too much sun. I'm not even fucking kidding you. It makes you go crazy. It makes you feel like you're invincible. It makes you feel like you're Superman. It's like, I'm going to go do some shit I'm not supposed to be doing right now. And it's like, okay. And you don't think about it until you're like probably in ER. Like, that was dumb.
I'm still stuck. Like, how do you go back to life? Like, I used to eat people's face, but now I eat vegetables, stir fry. You know what I'm saying? I'm vegan.
Yeah,
now.
that's the only way.
If you look to somebody in the face like, yo, I'm vegan, get the fuck out my store. Get the fuck out of my store. Got some goddamn nerve.
You want no GMOs in your face? Gluten-free faces?
Yo, paleo face ass. He got the wrong diet out here.
Oh my god. All right, so we almost done. But before we end today's show, we have a big topic that's been dominating Black Twitter that I want to talk with y'all about. Bruno Mars. One of my favorite ethnically ambiguous superstar. Because he's a little bit of everybody.
Yes,
He Ashkenazi, he Filipino, he Puerto Rican, probably Native American or somewhere in there. He's from Hawaii. So, we all over the map.
Right.
There's been some serious discussion this week about, is Bruno Mars a culture vulture? Which caught me all the way the fuck off guard, because I was just kind of like, we talking about Bruno Mars? Ain't this a Justin Timberlake conversation? Ain't this a Post Malone conversation? Ain't this a Duffy conversation? There's a lot. This, I hate Lil Pump. I'm going to throw him under this bus, too. Not even because of his raps, as a person. Lil Pump conversation. But people are talking about Bruno is getting a lot of credit for doing a black art form because people often want to hear and see black things as long as black people aren't doing them. It's the same way in which the Kardashians got credit for bodies black women always had, but they're only celebrated because of the Kardashians. Or it's the same way in which somebody is doing black music that was always popular, but it only becomes it's like Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley is the king of rock and roll, but black people are doing those nigga music. Elvis Presley does it. It's a valid art form. So is it fair to call Bruno a culture vulture? What does that even mean, and how do you view Bruno Mars' career in light of all these icons that he's influenced by?
And I'm pretty sure y'all going to agree with me on this particular point. The reason why he's not a culture vulture is because he is always and continues to give credit where it is due. He is constantly saying, I get this inspiration from Michael, from Morris Day, from Prince, from Usher. Like, he gives credit where it is due. He has his own sound, and it actually, I think he has a very bridging sound because it takes like old school R&B, New Jack swing. It takes the 90s feel, funk. He basically collaborates all his favorite, music, and it makes it into his own, and he makes it fun. He makes it approachable. Be kind of naughty. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I don't mind my kids listening to it because they don't know what Versace on the floor means. But, like...
My nephew got caught singing that song. You know about some Versace on the floor.
Right. So, I think what he's doing is he's bridging a gap between a lot of people because he is always, and he's very aware of where his inspo comes from. He always gives props to the inspo.
I think that says it all. I'm gonna be real with you. No, like Rana said, he's always giving props where props is due. He does have his own sound, so it's like, I can't knock him for it. He's not out here stealing. Just like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is a new form. No, he's always giving props, and he's a great music. Honestly, when he came out, I forgot the other guy. And Miguel came out. I was like, oh god, another singing guys. You know what I'm saying? But you actually listen to him.
Don't talk about Miguel like that.
Anyway. I believe I was speaking. I was gonna say that no, it's like really they both make
a hot take on Miguel. I must let that pass.
Oh, here the fuck we go.
No, I'm not.
So at least if you don't like Miguel, Bruno Mars definitely has valid, credible music. It sounds great. I can't front. You can't help but want to dance to it.
Yeah.
You can't, and it's really dope.
Makes my baby want to move.
And you
don't
know
like the move for nothing.
Whereas we gave Justin the pass way back when, or they did. I didn't really vote on him giving him the pass back then.
I didn't sign that.
You know what I'm saying? I want to take that
pass
pass back
cool.
from Justin.
No
I want to take that pass. I want to take that pass back from Justin. Cancel his invite to the cookout.
Right. No more potato.
Invite my man Bruno. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. But Bruno been invited. Bruno, bring the poi.
Damn. All right. I fucks with Bruno a long way. Like, you can't knock somebody for being who they are and who they've always been as a kid.
Yep.
If that's who you were, that was your musical influences as a kid. Like, a lot of people just say, "Oh, Michael,
no,
that's fine."
He used to impersonate Michael Jackson as a kid.
He did all this stuff and listened to everybody while he was a kid, and he did talent shows. He did all this stuff. A lot of people just was like, "Oh, okay, this is cool." And then when they got adult, they were like, "Okay, you like Michael Jackson? You got a little bit of rhythm. Let's do this art form now and stick you in there."
Oh yeah, Michael Jackson inspired you. Let me see the receipts. Let me see you dancing in your mama's living room.
You better be able to hit.
You better be in a
competition.
A moonwalk. I better see some.
And you better kill
penny
it.
loafers.
You better
I better
kill
see
it.
some high white tube socks.
Yep.
In your
closet,
the glove. Like, you got to have the hairstyle.
You
all
know
that
who was
shit.
like that too a little bit? Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, a little.
He started playing the drums at what age? Like, it was.
We need to ask people for receipts.
He's musically talented. He's just, he's young and dumb right now. So
when I was reading through the Bruno criticisms on Twitter, one of the things that I noticed was that there's definitely a black-brown divide on this topic.
Yeah.
Because one of the critiques of like putting him in the culture vulture camp was that basically he wasn't black. And I'm like, I don't think he's ever said he was. And also, he's part Latino, and if you think Latinos have no influence on black culture, black people have no influence on Latino culture, you're insane.
You're fucking
because, like, okay, I'll quote my homegirl who tweeted this out, because she felt some type of way about that too, as a Latino, about somehow the way this conversation seemed to turn from, like, is he a culture vulture to, like, basically, are you black enough to be sitting at this table?
I know exactly. I know what you're talking about, right?
And one of the examples that she used is just, like, when people talk about, for example, like, hip-hop culture originated in the South Bronx, right? It was blacks and Latinos that founded hip hop. That's point blank. If you've never been to New York in your life and you live in the South Bronx or any part of the Bronx and you're having some kind of big event, there's going to be blacks and Latinos at your party because that's the makeup of the borough.
Facts.
So if you're creating a whole new cultural subgenre, guess who's going to be part of it?
Yep.
Blacks and Latinos. And also, side note, for Latinos on the flip side, salsa.
It's derivative from Africa.
No, you don't need to go that deep, my dear.
It is, though.
When salsa was first being created...
I agree with you there.
No, when salsa was first being created, some of the first producers and instrumentalists that played on salsa records were non-Latino black Americans.
Yep.
That had a big influence. Salsa comes from the Bronx. Yeah. It didn't come from the island. It came from the Bronx and went back out. Mm-hmm. So it's this weird othering that's kind of happening to Bruno. And I don't think it's fair. And also, like, people are saying that he's not as... so Michael Jackson changed the sound of music.
Right.
Prince changed the sound of music. Right. And they're saying that Bruno's not doing that. Because he's not. He's rehashing styles that have already come. You literally just said all the stuff that
he is, but honestly, like...
But it's nothing new. I'm not saying that's... No, right. So I'm not saying... He's not doing anything new, but... What he's doing still requires the talent because his songwriting and his performing are not average. He's not an average songwriter. He's not an average performer. So when you're saying that he's not innovating, you're trying to make it seem like that music doesn't have value.
Right.
Because someone literally called him a karaoke singer. And I was just like,
whoa.
Yeah. I was like, listen.
I heard that man live. He ain't no karaoke singer.
No, I'm saying, like, listen. If you're going to say that what he's doing is so derivative and unimaginative, then why hasn't anyone else done it? That's like my simple question.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, like, if what he's doing is such karaoke, then why, for example, why isn't Ed Sheeran having the same reach as him? Because Ed Sheeran has huge records, but I can point out just different random demographics that don't even know who the fuck he is.
Right.
Versus Bruno, his reach.
Yes.
Reach, global reach.
Because he made his like I said, he has been able to bridge together so many different attributes. Like, he has a live band. He makes sure he rolls around with the hooligans. Hooligans are his all-male counterparts that all, like, I've never seen someone dance so much and play the trombone or the fucking trumpet. I was like, nigga, you ain't tired? Like, it takes a lot of fucking...
They dripping in finesse, goddamn.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, but, like, he's taken a lot of, like, awesomeness from different, successful parts of our musical, voyage, and he's bridged them. Because the things with the Hooligans, that's kind of like 1930s, 1940s with like big band stuff. He did 80s stuff. He's done 70s stuff. He's done 90s. He's literally taken a piece of something from, think about it, from as early as like the 1900s. And like, you know what? I like that. And then he incorporates it into his own style.
But then if you put all that into one person, it's bound to come out in some way.
Well, yeah.
Like, that's the prism of his influence. Put all that in there. You got a jambalaya of some good goddamn music. Because all his influences are crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to be real with you. It just sounds like people just hating. They've been trying to come after him for the longest.
A whole bunch of hate.
They've been trying to come after for the longest. Like, honestly, you really can't say nothing bad about him.
Listen,
that karaoke singer comment rubbed me the fucking wrong
except
way.
that jump where he tried to do it across the stage. Was it him? Yeah, it was him. He did it across the stage, landed on that poor girl's neck.
No, that was Miguel.
That was Miguel? Oh, I'm getting it mixed up. I'm sitting over here.
I think that was intentional,
racist.
but we all right. Not all brown people look the same, bro. Don't do that.
That's where the hate gets you.
Don't do that.
Okay, so we're going to end this week's episode on our moment of joy. I would like to say my joy this week, because, oh, by the way, we're going to end every episode on joy, because sometimes we talk about some heavy shit.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't want to end the episode just like, niggas. We want to end on a positive note, like, nigga. Anyway. Anyway, my moment of joy came this week. It was a story about Canadian doctors. The Canadian Parliament, I believe. Anyway, they're trying to raise their paycheck, increase their salary for Canadian doctors, and they actually turned them down and started a petition to divert that money to nurses instead, saying that they hadn't gotten a pay raise and we don't need the money. First of all, I ain't never heard of a doctor saying you pay me too much. That shit blew my whole mind. Y'all Canadians, I don't know what's in the water up there. Something wrong with y'all. Y'all too nice. But I thought that was just really dope. Because it's Canada's having a moment in which doctors are saying, you're paying me too much, pay nurses more. And we in America are having a moment where we're saying, let poor people die in the street. Right. It's just very different moments in time that we're having as nations. Yeah. Anyway, that's my moment of joy. I thought that was a dope story this week.
My moment of joy is somebody sent me for The Incredibles the promo, because I haven't been watching anything for the promos at all. Yeah. So when I actually saw the full commercial, I am ecstatic. Shout out to Disney, that owns Pixar or whatever. Shout out to Marvel, because the summer that they're about to have is going to be crazy. One of my best friends was like, I need to buy a movie pass, and I actually might for this year. Because it's a lot of great movies coming. You got Ant-Man, Infinity Wars. You got Solo coming out. And once again, I know we're not going to talk about it, but you guys I say definitely watch Wrinkle in Time, just because. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not for you if you're an adult over like 16, but we'll go into that next week's episode. But just for the premise of it, supporting obviously the black...
Ava DuVernay?
Yep, obviously. And then, of course, like, the crazy thing is, I think it's layered. And I think people need to take it apart. Like, I'm dead gonna watch it again just so I can so when I come back and be like, but what about this? Like, it's definitely layered and empowering. So that's my moment of joy. Shout out to Dash, Incredibles.
All right, I'm gonna let you have the last one, Sage. I'm gonna throw mine out there.
Okay.
A moment of joy. Serena Williams, Black Beauty herself, winning her comeback game after dropping a baby.
Oh yeah,
kicking ass on that one.
That would just crush me. How she win the tournament's pregnant? Few weeks after birth, she out here crushing people.
She was on Sports Illustrated.
Listen, bro, you got to sprinkle some of that black girl magic on you, bro. I don't know if you want that.
Can I take a moment? Hold on. Speaking of Serena Williams, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. Can I tell her husband to fall the fuck back?
Sorry, Taylor, but
tell her husband to fall back.
I need Serena's husband to fall the fuck back. Okay, you need to rent billboards. You can just send her a card. Okay, you out here putting pressure on niggas.
No. Wait.
She's just coming back.
Listen,
game.
Listen,
like,
bro.
Goddamn.
Listen, bro. Let that man make sure that she know he ain't going nowhere. You gotta fight for every inch of that. You seen them cat suits? That nigga's working hard to keep her. He's working hard. Let that man show it.
No, he's seen her exes. I think that's what he's seen. He's seen Calvin and Drake. He's like, I ain't Calvin and Drake.
I hate to see her.
Listen,
I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her leave.
I influenced you too much.
You influence me too much. You're my best friend. I can't do it.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I watch too much stuff with you.
What the fuck do you? I don't watch any with bodysuits involved.
All right,
Get to your moment of joy.
This is taking a turn. Vonna, your moment of joy.
I love it when they tell on each other.
Real life.
Vonna Sage here.
Wait, I think I just forgot mine. Wait. Give me a minute. Oh, my moment of joy is when Holly Berry put up a post of her doing a yoga pose. and Chris Brown was thirst trapping. Like, oh yeah, Miss Berry, teach me that pose.
Did she respond?
No.
Come on,
did you see the pose?
No, I did not.
You should go on. You should see the pose.
Okay.
You'll thank me later. But yeah, she did some crazy. They're not crazy, but she did a nice pose. You know, and like underwear looking thing. She looked very fit. All the black people were like, "Yes, sis," and Chris Brown was like, "Ew." Hey, Miss Berry. That's what he basically did. Right. He totally slid into the DM during that one. But yeah, that was a moment of joy. It's like, yeah, black don't crack,
Chris.
bitch.
Don't Eric Benet.
Listen, Drake had J-Lo
on the big, yep.
As this needs further inspection.
Word, you were really quiet there, Ocean. He was like, The mic's still on, right?
On that note,
we're going to end this show. I'm about to go. I need to get rich ASAP. It's your boy Danny Ocean, DNYOCION. I'm signing off. Find me on Twitter. Don't find me on Instagram. If you're on my Twitter, I'm about to be flaming some people this week because the news is getting on my goddamn nerves.
Cool.
No, I got no transition.
That was a nice transition. The little flame hand. Okay.
Oh, they can't see that. I was just like...
It's your boy Chris. We out here.
Ivana Sage.
Ma'am?
Yo, it's your boy Mayhem Mike. I'm sorry, I'm doing some audio engineering right now, thinking throw the whole state of Florida away. You can find me at YFR Mayhem on Twitter. You can find me at The Last Stop on the L on Facebook and Instagram. Until next week, people.
Remember, you know. Save all the hating and the poppin', nigga, you know. You were telling niggas you my partner, nigga, you know. Don't be a groupie, keep moving, nigga, you know. Hey, I ain't tripping, but the truth is really, you know.